Donald Trump to surrender. Be arrested in Fulton County, Georgia, Thursday.
People recognize what's going on, even people from the other countries. Like, look, dude, here's the reality. If Trump doesn't get in, the free world ends.
They are writing the history books for the next generation.
Uh-huh.
They're writing the history books for the next 50 years. Right? So that way, when our kids and our grandkids look back, this is what they're going to have to see. They're going to see
a president that's trying to overthrow
Rudy
the
Giuliani.
Right. If that's what they're planning on doing, what are they planning on doing with the people that know the truth? They're planning on removing them from society somehow. Remember Trump tweeting that black and white photo where he's like pointing and he says, actually, they're not coming for me. They're coming for you. All right. We also have a special guest joining us today who's been on the show before. Welcome back to the show, Miss Linda Catalina,
Hi.
otherwise known as Wake Up with Linda on the Instagrams, and also of the very famous Mostly Peaceful Latinas podcast.
Yep.
Mostly peaceful, though.
Mostly peaceful.
Yeah, that means sometimes violent.
Exactly. When we get a little crazy and people were like, you guys are supposed to be mostly peaceful. I'm like, and then I pull up like the CNN picture because that's where it comes from. We know when like during the riots, when
the world's
everything's burning and they're
yeah.
like, we're reporting live, but it's mostly peaceful. And it's like people are dying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hello, that's what we are.
Yeah.
But thank you for having me on the show. I'm really excited. And I just wanted to say that, by the way, people do share your stuff. I know that because in Miami, like people are still talking about the episode. Like at the gym,
that's
people
cool.
have approached me
Yeah.
like many times, or they DM me.
What kind of people? Are they cool people?
Yeah, they're cool people.
All right, good.
There are people.
All right, good.
Yeah. They
Not
do
a bunch of nerds?
No,
All right.
they're good people.
Yeah. Well, if they're dorks, they're fans of DJ.
No, we cleared that up yesterday.
Yeah, they're fans of Emily. You guys will get that reference when this.
Very soon.
We were supposed to release a show today that we're actually going to release on Sunday instead. So, special episode coming out on Sunday. You guys will want to hear. Special 75 Hard Versus episode. But anyhow, what's been going on? How you been?
Been good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, I would say I'm in another stage of clown world,
Yeah.
which is mostly enjoying laughing at clown world.
So you're past the point of infuriation,
mhm.
moved on to the point
Yeah.
of look at these idiots.
Yes. Look at like what are the 7 stages of like coping, or what is it? There's like
Or
7
grief, yeah.
of
Acceptance.
I'm in the acceptance stage. Yeah. You know, I'm just like watching like Joe Biden. It's just like I'm like, okay, well, it's just another day in clown world. Like the other day I came across a clip on YouTube from, I think it was the ambassador to the US, a Ukrainian ambassador to the US, is a transgender person.
Oh my!
So is it
I saw that.
is it not like the best thing that could happen in clown world? Like, and this person is in charge of debunking propaganda coming from Russia.
Yeah.
A person who doesn't even accept his own gender,
Yeah.
who's delusional.
Who's filtering through what's true and what's not true.
And I was like,
Perfect.
I sent it to my friend. I'm like, is this not the most perfect ambassador that we could possibly have? A transgender woman debunking Russian propaganda and saying the Russians are lying. Meanwhile, you're pretending to be my gender. So that's where I'm at. It's just like it's just
Dude, it's so
an
weird.
enjoyer, a clown world enjoyer. That's what I am.
It is weird. Like I go through my days. Like some days I'm angry, and you know, for many years, my leather bound books, I was very angry.
Yeah.
Now to the point where it's just like, all right, whatever's gonna happen. I'm not going along with any of this.
Yeah.
And if you guys want me to, you're gonna have to kill me. That's it.
Many days I wake up and I just feel like they just keep fucking with us.
They are.
They do.
Like,
That's what
there's
that
no
is.
They
way.
do.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and every day I feel like, okay, well, that's got to be it.
No.
Then tomorrow comes. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
No.
fuck, man.
Listen, man, you got to understand, like people have a hard time understanding like how deep the demoralization and destabilization process goes.
Yep.
Like their goal
Mhm.
is to make people not know in their own minds and hearts what is okay, what's not okay, what they can say, what they can't say, what's true, what's not true. And they've successfully demoralized and confused a pretty good size of the population. I don't think it's a majority. I think most of the people realize it's bullshit. But I mean,
A
like,
lot of idiots.
yeah, oh no, for sure. But like, we're at a point now where I mean, from what I could tell, more and more and more people are starting to realize like this is absurd.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah. I'm also to the belief too. I used to believe that this with the demoralization aspect of it, that like, think of like a fucking account, right? Like they would let us get down to maybe 20%. You know what I'm saying? And like now I'm to the belief that like no, they want us at fucking zero.
Oh yeah,
Like complete drain.
yeah,
Of everything.
yeah.
And I'm like, man, like, and it's becoming more real every single day, man.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's
think
crazy
the climate
stuff.
change stuff, it's I mean I don't know if this is one of the surfing the internet topics, but
Well, we cruise the
Yeah,
internet.
cruise the internet.
Let's surf the internet. That
Yeah.
might be that's the California version.
Yeah, that's not politically
Okay,
correct.
cruise
We don't do that in good old
Yeah.
Missouri.
Yeah.
You know what
But
I'm
I
saying?
think
We
that
surf out here in the Mississippi. Yeah.
I think that the
Cruise
next
through
phase.
drive-bys. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, if we had an appropriate title, we're in St. Louis.
Yeah, right.
It'd be drive by the internet.
Exactly.
Seriously, this city.
Anyway,
Sorry.
No, just that I just on the way here actually I screen grabbed how there's 14 U.S. cities that currently have are committed to the climate change something. I forgot the correct
I
title.
saw
of it.
that banning cars total by
Articles will
2030.
close,
Yeah.
3 articles will close. No meat.
Yeah, Austin was one of
gas.
those cities.
Miami is one of them. San Diego is one of them.
Miami is one
Boston.
of those?
Yeah.
What the fuck's happening in Miami?
I remember we were talking before
Yeah.
this started. It's like they've chosen Miami as like the new like Dubai. They're doing a lot of like insane, like extravagant luxury, like construction and bringing all
Mhm.
these stuff here to Miami. But with that, it's gonna come like the people that are driving this agenda, that people want electric vehicles and green, whatever. I think my partner Bella, she was just telling me how there's a company knocking on doors around her neighborhood because they want to put their solar panels on people's houses for free. But why is that for free? Because it's a government incentive a program. And it's just they want to turn this into like a green economy. That's really what it is. And with that has its consequences. In France and even in Colombia, there's days that you can't drive your car. You can't drive.
Yeah.
Or you can and only cabs can drive like a certain range, and it's just you're gonna have like water limits. And people are like, how could they limit the water? I'm like, they'll put a little thing that will stop you from getting water out of a fossil. Like
Yeah.
people have no idea how bad it's gonna become because of climate change.
Well, that's how bad they want it to become. I don't think they'll actually achieve that.
No.
I don't see it happening.
I think
more and more people look, dude, 5 years ago, nobody would stand up in public and say climate change was a hoax. Now you have a presidential candidate on the stage last night. Love him, hate him, no opinion right now for me. But Vivek Ramaswamy, isn't that how you say his name?
Yeah,
Ramaswamy?
What you asking me for, bro?
I don't fucking know.
I screw that shit up.
You
all
guys
the
know who
time.
I'm talking about, bro.
He's asking because
the
he's
young
the
guy
only
with the
brown guy
Is
here.
that what it is?
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the
I
fuck
figured you as a brown man would know the name. Like, bro, I don't know the name. I'm not brown enough. Look, man,
It
the
is
brown dude
Ramaswamy.
with the big smile
Yeah,
that
right.
everybody likes right now. Okay, like, bro, he fucking stood up on stage last night.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think he did a great job. He said, straight up, the climate change is a hoax. He's like, and he started saying exactly what it is and talking about how it was, it's communist in nature.
Yeah.
It is.
No, 100%. That's all it is.
It is.
People who buy into
Yeah.
the climate change, dude, they are look, man, they've pushed this so hard. It's really, really hard
Yeah.
for people to realize that they've been completely lied to about it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of people who are like emotionally attached to it. I'm not saying that we don't care about the environment. I'm not saying, let's not care about cleaning up the oceans or let's, like, nobody thinks that. No, when we say climate change is a hoax, that's not what we're saying. We're saying, okay, yes, we should be environmentally conscious. Yes, we should do things that make sense. But what they're trying to do is take that and turn it into this moral and ethical attachment.
It's
Where-
a green economy.
Yeah, no, that's what it ends up being
That's what it
about.
is.
It's not, it's about taking the economy from oil and gas, which a whole bunch of people own and
Right.
have owned for a long time. They're some of the wealthiest people on the planet. And they're trying to move the economy from oil and gas to green energy of which all these politicians and tyrants and World Economic Forum people all own these companies. So they're using their legislative power to villainize oil and gas, which people that don't understand oil and gas, oil is a renewable resource.
Yep.
Okay? Like it's
Renewable.
being made right now in the earth.
Like this.
Yeah. Like it's the most renewable resource. Like this shit that they're pulling out, the lithium and the cobalt and all the materials to make these batteries, guess what? That's not being made anymore. Okay. So like when we talk about the renewables, they're actually selling, it's the same thing they do with everything. Yeah. They completely backwards lie about it. But anyway, it's exactly what you're saying, Linda. They're taking the economy that's existed off oil and gas for, 120 years, 125 years or so, and they're moving it over to electric, of which they are financially incentivized to do because they own the stock in all these companies. And that's the entire play of what's going on. And they're also using that play to not just enrich themselves, but then encroach on our rights and then limit our rights and our freedoms and impose control on the world, not just the United States of America.
That's the biggest thing because they'll have the ability to flip a switch at any time, whether that be your car, whether that be your house. Oh, you're saying something that's out of line politically? Cool. No more car for you.
People,
right?
People think that's conspiracy. That's already happening in other places. Yeah.
Already happening. And once they put, and that's a dangerous thing because once they put the foundation in, like it's not like, okay, everybody, all electric cars, no more gas cars, immediate control. That's not how they work it. They put the infrastructure in first, right? And then once they start seeing the trends of the sensors, that's when they snap their fingers and turn that little switch on.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's real shit, man. It's dangerous. But I want to talk about something real quick before we get into our headlines. You guys kept talking about this hoax, right? Climate hoax. I wanted to see if you guys have seen this because I think it's kind of interesting. You see India land on the moon?
Who did?
India.
They did?
Yeah. Well, allegedly. Listen.
Allegedly would be a good word.
Allegedly.
Hold on.
Yeah. India just landed on the moon. Yeah.
Where's Syed?
The global race to water.
We need to know what vehicle they took.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Right. Well, listen, I got some shit on this.
Did they take a rocket? Did they take a shuttle? Did they take a magic carpet? What?
How do they I just don't. I haven't heard of this.
I don't heard this. Oh,
listen to all my brown friends. I love you. You guys make fun of me all you want.
Listen, yeah. So India became the first country to land at the moon's south pole.
What's the shuttle called? Boobs and Vagine? The SS Bobs and Vagine went to the moon.
Literally. Country.
So they're saying that India became the
I
first.
get a fucking trophy, bitch.
You too.
So they're saying that a logistically challenging achievement expected to kick off a new era of space exploration. It joins the U.S., China, and Russia in successfully pulling off an uncrewed lunar landing. Okay, let's really dive into this. So the Indian Space Research Organization, okay, or ISRO, landed a research device as part of its Chandrayaan-3 mission near the lunar south pole on August 23rd, equipped with monitors for studying seismic activity and carrying out other research. A rover with 2 different sensors was stored inside the lander. All right. Now let's watch the video, okay, of the moment.
There's a video.
Listen, bear with me, guys.
It's our OnlyFans.
There's a video of the moment, the mere seconds before this alleged landing on the moon's south pole. Here's the video for all of us watching on YouTube. Remember, guys, you can check out these links too on andyfrisella.com. Let's watch this clip.
You gotta be. Are you for real?
Oh, this is real shit.
That's not.
Bro, listen, this is real, Andy. All right?
That is not. Shut the fuck up, dude.
Bro, I swear to God.
No, he did, dude. He fucking learned Photoshop yesterday.
I'm not even that good, bro. I'm not that good.
No, clearly you're not.
Listen, let's watch the clip.
जी हाँ, आप अपनी स्क्रीन पे देख
Shut
सकते
the
हैं कि हम
This is not real.
लैंडर मॉड्यूल
Hold on. You made this shit up.
People are applauding. Let
लैंडर
us all
मॉड्यूल
wait to hear from the Secretary Department of Space and Chairman
You're
ISRO,
fucking with all of us.
Shri S. Somnath.
लैंडर मॉड्यूल पूरी तरह से
I love the
सेफली और
bombs.
सॉफ्टली चंद्रमा के सतह पे लैंड हो चुका है। ये हम लोगों के लिए बहुत ही गर्व की बात है। हिंदी में एक कहावत है कि चंदा मामा दूर के, लेकिन अब
Oh my god, this is
Fucking
real. It's
fake,
in the New
dude.
York
No, bro,
Post.
this is real shit. Now,
This is fake as fuck.
listen, I only had one question. Look, they even got pictures of like, you know, the lander, what it looked like.
That
Okay,
looked like a fucking 1980s video game,
bro, I think it looks like one of those Indian call scammer places. Okay, like
Yes.
That looked like a.
Yes, it does.
I'm just saying.
Yes, it does.
That looked like a.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
That was completely made up.
I
You're making. Did you make that?
swear to God, I did not.
Did you fucking make that, Joe?
I didn't. No, it's real shit.
Are you guys fucking with me right now?
No, it's real, bro. It's real. They landed on the.
I feel
moon.
like I could do a better
I know
job
it's
of
only-
Photoshop.
It's only a matter of time before
With
you
my
motherfuckers start making up your own stories and put them on the fucking TV and have me say shit.
It was a fucking AI. No, this is real, man. This is real. Okay,
No.
it's real. That's what they're saying.
Well, they are lying,
They're lying.
That is not
through their
real.
teeth.
dude.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's out there. I think congratulations are in order.
Dude.
Wow.
So when's the
brownies
first
are
Slurpee
coming up.
machine?
I don't know if you guys noticed, but the Indians have been slowly climbing up. It's like a Indian supremacy. I swear.
Fucking open a 7-Eleven up there. Oh my God, dude.
Remember the guy from The Simpsons?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
What was his name again?
What
He
is
was
the
so
guy
funny.
from The Simpsons name? What?
Apu.
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 Apu. Oh, Andy, that's man.
Listen, man. It is what it is. Hey, bro, everybody hates me. I'm white. Okay? Like, it is what it is.
It's okay. Remember, there's the rise of the Latino white supremacists. So
Yeah, you're at
we're-
the- you're the head of that.
I'm basically like the
You're like the
KKK.
queen of that.
Literally.
Yeah.
The first 7-Eleven on the moon.
That right there is ridiculous.
Oh, bro.
I think this is
This
just
is
like this
ridiculous.
is supposed to be like their computer animated, you know.
No.
Dude, that's fucking bullshit. There's no way.
Oh, it's true?
No
Bro,
way.
It's real, man. It's
No
real.
way. No way.
It's real.
I refuse to believe it.
Bro, listen.
I refuse to believe the moon landing too, but
Me
here
too.
we are.
That was bullshit too.
The little
That-
tin foil
yeah.
can, that little tin can that went up there in
I'll
the
be-
1960s.
okay. So here's the real debate. Which country did a better job at faking it? Was it us or was it them?
For sure, us. We're
I think us
I
look
think
more
we did
real.
pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
ours was very
Yeah.
elaborate.
Bro, with AI and all this stuff, that's
Oh my
all you
God.
guys could come up with?
Bro, listen.
You know,
All
Indians
those chat
aren't necessarily
GGP
known
motherfuckers,
for
they could
their,
have figured something better.
you know,
I don't know,
crafts.
man. Listen, I just put it up there. It's
Dude, somebody call Syed, have him come in here. Gotta get verification.
Bro, he's probably on break, man. That's a pretty historic moment. He probably took off.
He's all
for a second.
celebrating.
wait. I'm gonna call him right now. Wait, I'm gonna call him.
Are you gonna put him on speaker?
Who is this?
This is one of the guys, one of the
Oh,
crew. Yeah. He's from India.
Hey, I just wanted to
Congratulate you.
just say congratulations. We saw that India landed on the moon.
Say it again.
I said we just wanted to say congratulations. We saw that India landed on the moon.
Hey, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm at my desk.
Come in the studio. Come in the studio.
We got questions for you.
We got
We
questions.
got questions. Wow.
Here he comes, dude. I see him in the reflection. He's already laughing. Look at him, dude. He's fucking already laughing. He knows he's about to get fucked with.
Bro, he knows it.
Yeah.
Like just minding my own business at work.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit, man.
Well,
Fucking 7-Eleven. Bro, that's so fucking good. How'd you make that? That's good.
You know why it's funny?
'Cause
Why is it? That's right. It's only funny because it's fucking
God,
true.
no, I'm
He
done.
said first
I'm done.
Slurpee machine.
All right. Put him on the mic
Come
here.
here, come here,
We
son.
got to verify this because you're our official contact to India.
Okay.
All right.
I might not be well informed, but I will do my best.
That's okay. You know more than us. All right. So let's show him the video. Have you seen this?
Yes.
Okay.
You seen it?
Mhm.
Is it real?
Is that real?
आप अपनी स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं कि हम
Really saying?
लैंडर मॉड्यूल
You can see it on the screen. The something module,
People are
and everybody's
applauding.
clapping.
Let us all wait to hear from the Secretary Department of Space and Chairman
I'm
ISRO,
not sure.
Shri S. Somnath.
I'm not sure. The image that's being getting circulated everywhere on social media, that's definitely AI generated.
Yeah.
For sure. 100%.
So here's my second question. What's the first business you think they'll open on the moon?
Say it.
Definitely a 7-Eleven.
Yes! Oh my God, dude.
I volunteer to work on the weekends.
What's up, brother? No Newport here, brother.
Oh my God.
Oh, bro, I love you so much.
Oh,
DJ, you're being racist, bro. You're the most racist guy here.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's a
Hey, listen,
fact.
I'll take that.
I am the
thank
least
you.
racist.
Yeah, thank you.
I am the most oppressed. I'm
Well,
white.
Listen, racism a crime. We know crime's only for black people. So
Well, it's you know why nobody laughed.
Because
Because
it's
it's
fucking
true.
true. Hey, listen, it's a fucking
His
fact.
trophies are going like in a hollow earth right now. It's so bad.
All right. Go back to your call center.
Yeah, I'm
Troy,
going.
bro.
go back to your
Syed
concept.
Syed just gets a trophy for fucking answering the question right.
Hey, I put my call on hold, customer service. I gotta get back.
We should have a real AF call line. And he answers it.
Holy shit. All right, we can end the show, man. dude, fucking he knows. He
You
knows.
knew the answer, bro. It's the truth, man. It's real AF, man. It's the
Oh
truth.
man.
I know
All right. It's all downhill from here. That's a fucking
So if you're
fact.
still watching,
Yeah. We
remember-
actually love
We
Indian
haven't
people.
even started. We
Listen.
haven't even gotten
No,
started.
we
I
haven't.
fucking love
This is
chicken
what
shawarma,
intro.
bro.
You know what? Indian food ain't for me, man.
You know, my best friend's Indian. I love Indian people.
Really?
Indian weddings. Yeah, Indian people are
You sound like a white dude talking about black people right
really.
now.
I got one Indian friend.
my best friend's black. It's cool.
For real though. For real. I've been to a couple Indian weddings. I got my saris. I got the whole thing.
Bro, they
so
spend a
I'm
shit
pretty
ton on Indian
acclimated
weddings.
with them.
No, their weddings are beautiful.
Their
They
weddings
spend a
are like
shit
4
ton of money.
days.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
yeah, it's crazy.
4 days.
Yeah.
Damn.
Crazy.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, so guys, if you're still watching, let's
We got
get
some more.
let's
You
get
can
right
now
into
get Slurpees on the moon. All right. Real talk.
Let's get into it.
So since y'all fucking, never mind. Let's just get into it.
Let's get into it, guys. Remember, if you want to see any of these topics, headlines, videos, pictures, go to andyfrisella.com. You can find them linked there. You can also drop down in the description. If you're watching on YouTube, you can find them linked there as well.
How the fuck does he answer 7-Eleven, bro?
You just knew.
That was my favorite fucking moment of real AF
Bro, it
fucking
was
ever,
great.
dude. Holy shit.
I was going to say a Boost Mobile, but I mean, 7-Eleven's pretty close.
Fuck no, man. Bro, when I used to stripe parking lots, we'd stripe 7-Elevens,
Yeah.
and Quick Trips and all that shit. So before I started the business, I striped parking lots. That's how I
What
got
does
the
that
money
mean?
to start the business. Huh?
What do you mean? What does
Like
that mean?
the lines for parking
Yeah, okay,
spaces.
okay,
So we
okay.
painted them. We'd have to paint the gas station ones overnight because they weren't much traffic, right?
Mhm.
And bro, we would go in there and it was always Indian dudes and they always had the same trick. All right. Now remember, this is like 1990s, right?
Mhm.
This is like not people had earbuds and shit. But they would take their big house phone. So like their phone, I thought it was genius. I started doing it too.
Yeah.
And they used a rubber band and they put the rubber band around the phone. And so they check you out with the rubber band and the phone stuck to their head and be talking on the phone all night.
No.
I loved it. I started doing it too. I did it all the way until AirPods came out. It works, dude. Yeah. See, just like that.
Just like this.
Oh, I thought you were taking a call for real. I was like, what was he doing in the middle of the show?
Exactly like that.
All right, let's get into it, guys. We got headline number one. You guys, we already touched it just a little bit. Let's touch it some more. Debates. It's a big deal. Let's get into it. All right, so this headline reads, exclusive. Vivek Ramaswamy beats Ron DeSantis for best performance and tops Donald Trump as the real winner in poll of the Republican debate. So let's talk about it. So
how's he top Donald Trump when Donald Trump wasn't in it?
yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. That's but I mean, that's the UK, man. They're
Biotech entrepreneur, that's what he is.
yeah. Dude's, I mean, he's got money.
Yeah, he's a wealthy guy.
He's loaded.
Yeah.
Loaded. Biotech, this is a Daily Mail article reading, biotech entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy won the first Republican 2024 debate on Wednesday evening, according to an exclusive poll for DailyMail.com, beating out Florida Governor Ron DeSantis by the narrowest of margins. He put up a combative performance, trading blows with opponents such as former Vice President Mike Pence, who seemed intent on cutting him down to size. It made him the focal point
What
for
does that
much
mean?
of the debate. So here are the polls. Okay. I guess Daily Mail sent this poll out. Who had the best debate performance? And it has Vivek at 28%, Ron DeSantis at 27%, Mike Pence at 13%, Tim Scott at 8%, Nikki Haley at 7%, Chris Christie at 4%, Doug Burgum at 3%.
That's a North Dakota guy, right?
Yeah. He's also loaded.
Yeah.
Loaded. Asa Hutchinson at 2%. And then 9% of the people said that they didn't know.
Well, Hutchinson, isn't that the guy who on a presidential debate stage wears the flag of two countries instead of just the American flag?
Correct. Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Why you got 2%, dumbass? You're trying to be the president of the United States and you're up there wearing a
Ukraine?
flag of
No,
Israel.
it's Israel.
Israeli flag and a fucking American flag.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sorry, bro. This is America.
Well, just so you know that Ukraine is the new Israel, but we can talk about that later.
Yeah. No,
That's a
well,
fact.
Yeah. It's actually Ukraine is the original Israel, if you want to get technical about it.
Why?
Well,
Oh,
because
yeah.
that's the homeland of Khazarian Jews. It used to be called Khazaria.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see where you're going with
Yeah.
this.
So
Mm-hmm.
anyhow,
Yeah. So I
makes
mean,
sense. You got 2%. Dumb. Don't
What
wear
the
another
fuck is
country's
Chris
flag.
Christie doing
That's
here?
not an anti-Israel statement. It's
No.
if you're wearing the flag of another country
Yeah.
on the stage to be president of a certain country,
Right.
people are not going to like that.
no.
We were actually at a party last night,
Mhm.
you and me, where the
Yeah,
debate
we
was
were.
on, and the fucking without me or you saying a fucking word to anyone, every single person's like, "Why is this dude wearing two flags on the
Mhm.
like?" Maybe rethink that strategy, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, and it just didn't make sense, man. Like, you know,
No.
Believe it or not, you'd be surprised how many people actually consider Israel to be an extension of America to that point. you
Yeah,
know?
if they're from
There was
Israel, if
people-
they're from Israel, they
There
think
was
that.
people that were upset at me when I was talking about the HB 269, which is the anti-Semitism law that they passed in Florida this last legislative session, and I was like, Ron DeSantis went to a foreign land to sign Florida legislation. You know how terrible it is, and people were offended by that. Jews were offended by that, and
Well,
not just Jews, evangelical Christians were offended by that.
Well,
And it's just like I'm like, I don't care what you believe in, I don't care what your religion is, I don't care where you were born, or if you think that Israel is our greatest ally. You don't sign Florida legislation in any other country. I would be just upset if it was in Saudi Arabia, in Colombia, in Peru, in Bahamas.
that's the
Just
point.
don't.
That's the point.
That's the point.
That's the point. If you point out that there's a large number of the government that actually has dual citizenship between United States and Israel, and you point that simple fact out, you get called an anti-Semite.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well,
Uh-huh.
that's not anti-Semitic to point out a fact. That's a fact. Okay. And in my opinion, nobody should be serving in the government of the United States of America that is a dual citizen of any country.
Yeah.
And that's not an anti-Semitic statement. Look, man, the anti-Semitic thing is the same thing as the racist thing.
It is.
Okay. It's been overused, it's been overplayed, it's a societal weapon to protect from being able to point out actual facts.
Right.
So, and most people know that. And they selectively choose when and where to attack people for it.
Mhm.
And the reality is, dude, like it's not a racist or sexist or misogynistic or anti-Semitic or any of these labels to point out actual facts. That's just facts.
Yeah.
And the social weapon of language is out of control. But I think most people are starting to understand, you know. Anyway, yeah, Asa Hutchinson, somebody told you some bad ideas. By the way, did you not notice like how every single dude up here wore the exact same
I
outfit?
didn't even know what he looked like.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know who he was before.
Yeah,
I saw him.
that's
even know
a
who he
stylist
was.
decision, right? Like every time these like people run for president, they always get like a campaign stylist, and like you know they have all this research and psychology research, like oh these colors will
Every dude was wearing a blue suit with a
Blue
red
suit.
tie.
with the red tie.
Well, they
You know
should
why?
just hire me then.
You know why they did that? Because Trump wears a blue suit with a red tie, and they spent literally half the debate talking about Trump too.
Mhm.
They did?
Oh yeah,
I didn't even watch.
oh
it.
yeah. They got on the discussion of who would support Trump, even if he was in
In
jail.
Or
And-
being indicted if he
yeah.
became the presidential nominee.
Vivek
was the
raised his
first
hand immediately,
Mhm.
which I thought was cool, and then everybody else kind of followed his lead.
after scanning.
And then
the stage.
DeSantis was like the last one, like one of the last ones.
Yeah.
And his, like, he was like, yeah,
Can
real.
can you see my hand up here?
Yeah, right.
see it?
Like,
Oh,
look, dude, I said this when DeSantis started up, and we got this on receipts. Like, bro, you got bad advice. You should have listened to someone that has knowledge on strategy.
Yep.
You should have shut up. You should have supported Trump, and you should have sat in the back until 2028. And you probably would have been like the automatic guy in 2028. And now you've created room for this other dude, Vivek, to come in, who's 38 years old. He's self-made, successful, multi-billionaire, to come in and start gaining people's hearts and minds. And he's doing a great job. The dude's got a big smile. He's highly likable. You know, I don't know anything about him. He came out of nowhere. But I'm just saying, like, why give your competition the room to do that? It just doesn't make sense. You know? Anyway, what'd you think, dude?
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of interesting things that I saw as we were at that party. He's starting to get like compared to Obama.
Yeah.
Vivek is. And it's a little interesting. And like to the point that like he even opened his debate with a Barack Obama comparison and quote. So this headline reads, Vivek Ramaswamy ripped one of his debate one-liners straight from Barack Obama. Ramaswamy introduced himself as a, quote, skinny guy with a funny last name after receiving his first question from moderator Brett Baer in Milwaukee on Wednesday. The phrase echoed Obama's own choice of words when he introduced himself to the country while delivering the keynote address at the DNC convention in 2004. Here's a video of Vivek's introductory monologue, I guess you can call it. Here it is.
Mr. Ramaswamy, listening to all of this, why should voters choose you over more experienced politicians on this stage? You're basically, a blank slate for people. You're 38 years old. You've said that you only voted in 2 presidential elections before this moment, this political race.
So first, let me just address a question that is on everybody's mind at home tonight. Who the heck is this skinny guy with a funny last name, and what the heck is he doing in the middle of this debate stage? I'll tell you, I'm not a politician, Brett. You're right about that. I'm an entrepreneur. My parents came to this country with no money 40 years ago. I have gone on to found multi-billion-dollar companies. I did it while marrying my wife, Apurva, raising our 2 sons, following our faith in God. That is the American dream. And I am genuinely worried that that American dream will not exist for our 2 sons and their generation unless we do something about it. And I do think Brett is going to take an outsider, because for a long time we have professional politicians in the Republican Party who have been running from something. Now is our moment to start running to something, to our vision of what it means to be an American today. If you have a broken car, you don't turn over the keys to the people who broke it again. You hand it over to a new generation to actually fix the problem. That's why I'm in this race, and we're just getting warmed up.
Pretty good.
I'm just gonna have to say it. No one's gonna vote for the guy with that last name. The rednecks in the middle of America are not gonna want a president Ramaswamy.
I don't
Ramaswamy?
It
I don't
doesn't
agree.
roll off people's.
I don't agree with that.
No.
I don't agree with that. Like, dude, we're from the heartland of rednecks, and I don't think they give a fuck, bro. I think people just want to be free. They want to be left alone. They want, like, bro.
But I'm talking about in comparison to Trump.
Oh, dude, look, this is a no. These guys are auditioning for next time. Like, Trump's the guy.
Maybe even VP.
Dude, all the numbers. Yeah, that's right.
And also,
that's right.
It's something that we don't take into consideration because I'm not an evangelical or anything, but I mean, I just read what I see on Twitter, which I think it's the biggest right now political town square or whatever, public square. He's Indian and he doesn't share, or Hindu, he doesn't share our religion. And believe it or not, there's a lot of talk about that, of having a guy that believes in many gods or whatever. I don't think that way. This is not my opinion, by the way. I'm telling you what I've seen from others on the internet.
When we think about America, you know, America, this is where I differ with conservatives a lot. You know, a lot of conservatives will say America is a Christian nation. It has to be Christian and Christian and Christian and Christian. How many of the people out here actually live in Christian values?
None of them.
Okay, it's not very much. And the reality is that America was founded with secular diversity, and it was meant to have freedom of religion. I don't
From the very beginning. That's why the First Amendment says freedom of religion.
Correct.
People don't get that.
No, but conservatives on the far extreme conservatives, these people will not even hear of someone who's not Christian. And that's a problem, because
that is a problem.
The reality is this country was founded on separation of church and state, freedom of religion, and we should be able to identify and be intelligent enough to understand that someone with a strategic mind who's been very successful in business, who's very young, who has new ideas, and I'm not advocating for this man, but I am taking his side on this. If he has different religious beliefs, but he's got the solutions to the problems that affect us every single day, I'm okay with that. You know, that's not a no vote for me. My issue with Ramaswamy is, first of all, I'll say this. None of those other candidates really belonged up there. They really didn't. No. And they embarrassed themselves by being up there. Like Mike Pence.
Christie, seriously?
Yeah, he made a fool of himself.
What the fuck is he doing?
He made a fool of himself. And so did Mike Pence. It was unwatchable, both of them. They're so old. They're so out of touch. They're so like they're everything that they are. Dude, they're everything Gen Z hates about politics, those guys are. And they're not relatable. And the one thing that, like, I would actually like to have Ramaswamy on the show and debate him myself.
Bro, I think that'd be dope.
Yeah, I think so. Because here's the thing. I'm young and I'm also rich. And I got some ideas too. And I like this guy a lot. I think he says the right things, but there's certain things that don't make sense. You know, he does remind me a lot of Obama.
Yeah. He's a performer. I hope you understand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's a performer and he has star power.
But also remember this. When you're the CEO of a company and you have thousands of employees, you get pretty good at performing because you have to talk to them every day in big groups. So like he has the experience to do. I understand why he's so charismatic because this is what he has.
Dream. You got to pitch the vision.
These are skills that you need as an entrepreneur to run a company that this man is running. Yeah. So I can appreciate all that. But he does remind me of Barack Obama. And if you guys who have been around enough to remember Barack Obama, that were old enough to remember, like in 2008, bro, everybody, like I didn't vote for him, but I still rooted for him. I was still like, dude, I hope this guy does good. I hope he does what he saes he's going to do. Yeah. And he went into office and did nothing of what he said he was going to do. And that's where I look at Ramaswamy and I have concerns because he did come out of nowhere. We really don't know anything about him. And that's not his fault because I agree that we need an outsider. Yeah. However, he does give off that Obama vibe.
Yeah, and it's also hard
fake-ish. Too. That's what it is. He's fake.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's fake.
It is fake.
You feel like it's fake?
Yeah. I'm a woman. I could see through these things. It's fake.
It's just like 10% too polished.
I talked to Emily about it this morning on the car here, and I was saying, you know, if let's say in the event that we actually can put Trump back in the White House, I wouldn't mind seeing him spearheading an agency.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing him in the business administration or whatever it may be. Or
over the
Department
FDA.
of Education.
You talking about Ramaswamy? Yeah.
Yes, I wouldn't mind seeing him being part of Trump's cabinet.
Yeah.
Or the head of one of our retarded agencies.
Yeah.
But as far as him appealing, because here's the thing, Andy, you got to understand something. the people that he's appealing to are terminally online people. If you get out of the online world of the people that are posting him, these influencers, people like you and I and whatnot, he's not appealing to the majority of the voters in America.
In
He's
real
not.
life is
Oh,
what
listen,
In real life. In
Linda,
real life.
I don't think they're, listen,
Yeah.
when I talk about the debate here, first of all, let's look at the data. I'm a data person, all right? I live and die by the data in business. None of these guys are going to be the guy. It's going to be Trump. The data says it's Trump. The polls say it's Trump. It's Trump, okay? Everybody understands the injustices that are happening towards him. Everybody, the more they attack him, the bigger he's going to get, the more powerful he's going to get. And until his path is exhausted, the fanfare and the support that he has is not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like Trump's the dude. So when I talk about this, I'm talking about who did the best of this, not that they're better than Trump.
Right.
With that being said, I think Ramaswamy crushed everybody.
Yeah.
In regards to him appearing fake, to me, it doesn't feel fake. I guess it is saying the same thing. He just feels like he's 10% too polished.
That's what it is.
Like 10%.
If you watch his commencement speech, is how you say it? Remember, English is my second.
He's a great speaker.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to watch him from college. Like
Yeah.
I've seen clips that people have pulled up from when he did his valedictorian speech or whatever, and he's been this way. Like he has. That's what I call star power.
Yeah.
You know. So he was like the cool Indian guy. That's how my best friend.
Didn't he do a rap video to Eminem?
That's how my
or
best
something?
friend is. My best friend has always been like the cool Indian guy that just like
Here you
got
go again.
the best grades in school. I'm sorry. I just don't want Antifa to say that I'm a KKK, spearing the KKK in Miami. You know?
But no, dude, I listen. I get what you're saying. I watch. DJ and I got watch both. We watched we recorded the Trump thing, or we
I
recorded.
streamed
whatever.
it. Yeah, I was
Oh,
going
we
back.
did.
And
We ended up
forth,
watching
like when
both.
the debates was on commercial. I pulled
Yeah.
up the Trump interview.
Yeah, I thought he did a great job. He says all the right things, but like real talk, there's things about that he says that I definitely don't agree with.
Like what?
Like for example, like he said in an interview, which was disheartening because it was the first thing I've heard him say that I was like, no, like that's completely wrong. And this is also what made me think that there's a potential for him to like have been like created, right?
Selected.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he said in the interview that he did not think that like somebody asked him about accountability and he said, I'm not worried about the past. Like I'm paraphrasing. He said, I think we should put down the arms and stop fighting. We should move forward together and all this stuff. And what he was, I get that. I do get that. Like I agree with that with like regular people, right? Like the people on the left or Democrats, like we all need to chill the fuck out. Okay. I get that. But he basically insinuated that he didn't believe that there should be accountability for some of these crimes that these high level people have created, like Hillary and Soros and Obama, and like this conspiracy that they've been pushing through.
Sedition.
Yes, it's treason, dude.
It's treason.
Yeah. And by when you pay to put the country in a terrible spot with immigration or the media or the justices and the judges in these inner cities, and you put people in there and you tell them not to prosecute crime so that the crime can go out of control. And we do all these destructive things, COVID, fucking
Russia, Ukraine.
yeah, like all this shit, making up a Russia collusion document out of thin air to persecute a president for 7 years and destroy everybody's mental health by creating division amongst society.
The Russian delusion. Is
Yeah,
what I call it.
but the thing is like there has to be accountability for these crimes. We cannot just let politicians who have served in the past create documents out of thin air, all right, and then say they're true and then persecute people and then put them in jail like what's happening literally today, all right?
Even lawyers are going to jail.
Right, with no
Crazy.
accountability. We cannot fucking do that. You know, what
No,
happened
we
during...
can. We are because, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the reality is that while Democrats are putting their political opponents in jail, the only thing the Republicans do is like, I'm just going to send a very strong letter again.
No, I get
I'm
that.
just going to send a strong tweet
No,
again.
They
about,
call my
I'm
senator.
so disapproval.
You're not
We're gonna
disagreeing
have
with
a
me.
Hearing. I know. I'm like, we're going to
Yeah.
have a hearing again in Congress. Like, what the
No,
fuck?
no,
bro? Like, we're so
no.
tired
These
of the
motherfuckers need to
tough
go
talk,
in the fucking
tough
wood
talk.
chipper.
Like,
Okay?
ridiculous.
Like, dude, there needs to be accountability for treasonous crimes
yeah.
that have happened.
It is treason, by the way.
I know it is.
It's treason.
I know. We have a
Yeah.
we have a president of the United States in power right now who has taken millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars from China, and then he's making policy decisions in exchange for that money that has now put our country in the weakest possible position it's ever been in, ever. All right. We have open borders, we have high crime, we have low fuel reserves, we have low military equipment, we have I mean, a million other things, right? We have a terrorist media.
We have Chinese bases being built in Cuba. 90
Bro, we
miles
have
from- 90 miles from
we have
Miami.
hundreds of thousands of military-age Chinese males coming across the border.
So you guys know if the Chinese bomb is, I'm gonna be the first one gone because I'm in Miami. So
Yeah, well,
it's been great.
look, dude, that guy that's in office right now is compromised. And these people who are acting on the behalf of that man, the Hillary Clintons, the George Soroses, the Barack Obamas, basically that whole part of the part. And by the way, there's people on the Republican side too.
Oh my
Okay.
God. We just talked about it before
Yeah.
you came in.
But all those people that are going along with all of this treasonous shit, they have long ago abandoned their responsibility as servants of the people and exchanged it for servants of themselves. And they have utilized their positions of power to create wealth for themselves, to create power for themselves, and then to commit crime. They've gone so far as now to commit crimes against humanity by forcing people to take a medication that is legitimately hurting all kinds of people, causing myocarditis, causing 18-year-old healthy kids to fall down in basketball courts. You know, ask LeBron James about that shit. Okay? Let's be real. This is happening. It's not fake. It's not conspiracy. And these people did this shit. And to sit there and say that we need to not have accountability, I'm sorry. I can't. That's a deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
I cannot vote for that.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
no,
that- I think
absolutely.
that
I think
makes it
accountability is the
Yeah.
number one issue. Like, I think it's accountability, then economy. That's what I think. Look, man, we're already all hurting. Let's clean this problem out for good. These people, look, if we don't have accountability, these people will go away for a while and then they'll come back.
I think that you and I and like us, people like Ian Smith, like
Yeah.
there's like a sect of us who are the very small percentage of Americans. I wouldn't even say Republicans or conservatives, just Americans who see eye to eye with what you're saying.
Yep.
We want retaliation and we want
It's not,
accountability.
yeah, it's just accountability.
Right, but it's also retaliation.
Not
for me,
really.
at least.
Well,
I'm a
no,
woman,
because
I'm a woman and I'm
That's
emotional.
the, yeah, but that's
what I
the
want.
rule
I
of
want
law.
evil
Yeah.
stuff being done to
All,
these people.
all I'm asking for is for us to hold people accountable to the letter of the law.
But here's the thing. There's a lot of establishment Republicans, people that have just always voted Republican no matter who it is, because they're just like the Democrats vote blue no matter who.
Right.
Who want to go back to the time before they were calling them racist, before they were the Nazis, before MAGA, before all this bullshit was going on, before the daily drama. They want to go back to that. So they're kind of saying, okay, if we leave the Democrats alone and we don't hold them accountable for whatever, like the Clintons, the Obamas of the world, then you're going to leave us alone.
That's not going to happen.
I know that's not going to happen.
That's
but these
the
people
entire.
are dumb.
No, it's not. They're misunderstanding. Listen, you know how you lose a battle? You know how you lose in business? You know how you lose a war? You lose by underestimating your enemy and not understanding what their true intent is. And just because you're a good person, just because you think that like it can live and let live and take the high road, you're not understanding. Not you, but people
in general.
They are not understanding that this is Bolshevik communism in the United
is.
States. Okay. And if you go read about Bolshevik communism, they kill the opposition the minute that they have the ability to do it. This is part of the play. If you go read Karl Marx, he talks about this in his book. You have to demoralize society after you get control. You remove all the intelligence, you remove all the doctors, all the educated people, you remove all the artists, and then you create a society of servitude. All right. And that's where they're trying to get to. These people will never stop until it ends with a legitimate genocide of their opponent. That is where we're going. And that will happen if people do not recognize that that's their intent. And because most of the conservative side of the aisle, and honestly, 80% of America are good people, and because they are live and let live people, and because they believe in other people having the same intent they would have, right? Because they wouldn't want to kill a whole bunch of people. They're misjudging the enemy. And that enemy that we're dealing with right now is lethally dangerous to anybody that stands against them. And so for us to like say, oh, we're going to take the high road, that is not an option at this point in time, because if we take the high road, these people will regather, they will come back. They've been at this for 100 years. This is not something they just started in 2020. Right. 2020 was like their Super Bowl and they fucked it up. Okay, so now we get another chance to like stop this shit. But the only way it's ever going to be stopped is if people are real about what the consequences are if we don't stop it. No. And the consequences, if we don't stop it, are death or lifetime imprisonment, labor camp. That's not me. That's historically for anybody that opposes their positions.
Yeah. We already have political prisoners. Look at the conditions of the January 6th political prisoners.
They will do that to every single person that resists them.
Mm-hmm. The mugshots that came out of Fulton County yesterday, all the 3, 4, 6, it was like 6 people, I think, or 9, including Rudy Giuliani and John Ellis. They're all lawyers.
Yeah.
Do you understand the severity of the situation when they're putting lawyers in jail with the bail as high as $180,000, $200,000? That's actually what's happening right now. And whether Democrats are obviously cheering it on, the Republicans are what the fuck, but you're intimidating lawyers into not doing the right thing, because first they were disbarring these lawyers in their respective states, and then they said that's not enough, we're going to actually indict you and try to put you behind bars. Mm-hmm. And I mean, if you're putting lawyers in jail who are the ones that can interpret the law, imagine what they're willing to do to us. We're gonna it's gonna be the concentration camps for a fact.
That's the intent. That was the intent of COVID. Okay, Bill Gates is on TV saying COVID didn't go the way we thought it was going to go.
But next time,
but he said just recently, he said, COVID, there was a lot of resistance that we didn't account for because they accounted for.
Kidding me?
They were planning on a much smaller pocket of resistance, and they planned on social support to remove that resistance at that time. Yep. That's why there's camps built in Washington. That's why there's FEMA camps all over the country. All right, they're already built. All right. These people were counting on a very small group of resistance the first time around. And if we hadn't have stood up, there would be a group of people in these camps right now, and it would all be us. And they would be doing bad shit to us.
Yep, what I think it's funny is when they go on their delusional state and then they start condemning other countries for allegedly committing human crimes against humanity.
Yeah, crimes against their citizens.
And they're like, we condemn Russia for X, Y, and Z. We're condemning. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Yeah.
Like, we have. Did you guys see the pictures of the January 6th prisoners that were just released? Like last
sleeping
week?
On the cots and shit.
When they're in when they're in a freaking shoebox where they have to take a poop in a mop bucket.
Yeah.
That's the condition of our citizens.
Yeah.
And
oh no, we're the third world country.
And what's important, I think, Andy, for especially for Republicans to understand is that the blacks haven't been wrong when they've been saying that our justice system is fucked up. Their execution has been messed up. BLM's not something that we're proud of. But when it comes to the justice system is bad, we need to fix it. We're seeing that right now with our own president. We're seeing that with the January 6th alleged
funny how now we can admit that there's a problem?
It is a messed up judicial system. It is extremely fucked up because we have people right now, because of the Patriot Act, who haven't even seen a day in court. There's no Fourth Amendment. The Constitution has been ripped apart. These people haven't even gotten a day in court, and they're waiting for a date.
It's been 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
Real quick, I want to point something up before we go to our next hotline, though, because we got to get moving. But I wanted to point this up. Last point on this topic. Did you guys see the numbers of these debates? So
I didn't even bother, honestly.
Yeah. So I mean, it's pretty incredible. So we all know that Trump did not attend these debates, right? He decided to do a one-on-one interview with Tucker Carlson on Twitter, on X. But the numbers are in, and it's ridiculous. It's
Go.
ridiculous. So we go to the debates.
Oh my
No. So this is on average, okay? So Fox News, and this is average up until the day before the election. So as of Tuesday, Fox News typically gets about 1.5 million views in their primetime airtime. Okay. Now they're claiming, allegedly, okay, that for the debates, they received an impressive 50 million plus views, okay, during the debates.
I don't believe that for a minute.
Yeah, I don't really know how I feel about that, but maybe. Okay. But let's go over to Twitter and see where those current views are on the Tucker Carlson and Trump interview. Currently sitting at
Oh my God.
229.6 million.
Well, that's just more data as to what I was saying. Like Trump's the guy. Everybody fucking knows it.
That's almost all the country, bro.
Yeah, actually, it is.
That's almost all the country.
It's all the voters.
People.
Definitely all the voters.
Yeah.
But I mean, do they gain like fucking? It was almost like 60 million views in just the first like 2 or 3 hours. It was insane. Yeah, I just thought that was.
I don't believe that the other debates got 50 million.
I don't believe so either.
People don't realize, and you know, my own friends will argue with me about this, and we'll debate it. That the President Trump is actually the most loved president that has ever existed. Number one, and around the world. And you know where you see this? TikTok. This is why I talk about TikTok so much. Well, I haven't done it in a while, but I do, because on TikTok it's a decentralized app, and you get to see how other countries that make content about Trump react to Trump. And when you go to the comments, these aren't bots. These are real people. You have even Muslims have accounts that are pro-Trump. Videos go viral. You go to the comments. 90% of those comments are all positive. Bring back Trump. This is my president. I miss Trump.
Listen, people recognize what's going on. And even people from the other countries. Like, look, dude, here's the reality. If Trump doesn't get in, the free world ends.
Which is already ending.
I know,
That's powerful.
but
That's a powerful statement.
listen, that's the truth.
Yeah.
Okay? If Biden wins or Gavin Newsom wins, this crazy shit that they're doing will continue and accelerate tenfold over the next 4 years. Just like any other presidential campaign, the last 4 years is when they do all the work. All right? So you will see shit here that will legitimately ruin America, and we'll probably be conquered in that time.
Yeah.
So like this
China.
huh? Oh yeah.
China.
Yeah. This election here, people, not just Americans. I actually believe that people in other countries recognize it more for what it actually is than what Americans do because of the amount of propaganda that we have here against him. People in other countries recognize certain things. They recognize that America is the country that has the most arms. They recognize that America is the country with the strongest military. And we are still that country, but they make us think that we are not that country all the time on the news. Why do they do that? Well, that's called demoralization.
That's why people don't want to enroll in the army anymore.
Correct.
You've seen the numbers of the army.
They're doing that on purpose.
It's really bad.
Yeah, the reason they post these trans generals and this trans shit is because they're intentionally trying to keep people from enrolling.
They're marketing.
Yeah, but here's a mistake people are making, Linda. That people are looking at it and saying, man, they're bad marketers. Actually, they're perfect marketers because they're getting exactly what they want.
They don't.
You're
know
assuming
that they're not the majority. The
no.
Chinese are not.
People cannot understand what their actual goal is. Like if you look at what they're doing and you say, that makes no sense. That these people are just dumb.
For that.
Yeah. Why are they doing this? Like this is absurd. Blah blah blah. It's absurd to you because you don't understand what they're trying to do. When you switch your perspective over to they're trying to destroy the country and weaken the country in every single way possible in the shortest amount of time, then all their stuff they do makes perfect sense.
Perfect sense. Yeah. That's real shit, man. Guys, jump in on this conversation down in the comments. Let us know what you think. Hashtag debates. Drop down there. Let us know what you guys think. But before we get to our second headline, it's time.
Oh, is it?
Got to cruise the motherfucking comments.
All right.
Let's cruise the comments. Let's check in. Remember, guys, we're going to be pulling, we'll pull a comment from our YouTube section, and we'll just see what they have to say. Let's check it out. Let's cruise it. So this comment This comment comes from at Dustin Hitzman. Yes. Hitzman. Hitzman. Yes.
Hey, Dustin, what's up, bro?
Hey, Dustin. Dustin says, I was on the wrong side of everything back in 2020. I was so wrong that I intentionally did not listen to this type of episodes on this podcast. I woke up and realized how wrong I was. It's okay to be wrong. Now I am here trying to learn how I can make a difference and make sure my kids have a chance to live in a great country. Thanks, Andy, and all involved in the show.
And that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's what it's all about. That's, Dustin. And let's be real, Dustin. How many mean messages you sent me back then?
Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
You
How
fucking
many
white
bad-
supremacist.
Andy, I love your Q&As, but man.
How many bad reviews you leave me, Dustin? But it's all good.
No, I love
It's
it.
all good.
You gotta go back and give Andy a 5-star on
Yeah.
Spotify, on Apple, on
Bro.
YouTube. Thumbs up. The
Dustin.
whole thing.
This is what it's all about, though. And
Yeah.
real talk, I get literally dozens of these kind of messages nearly every day.
Me too.
Yeah. And
I
I
get 'em
appreciate
too.
that.
Yeah.
Like, I respect that. I think, like I've always said, you have a reasonable expectation to be able to trust the media and trust the government and trust these agencies that they have our best interests in mind. And to realize that they don't is a very hard chasm to cross,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's a lot for people to recognize that. And I don't have any, listen, dude, I don't have any enemies. I don't have any hard feelings. My enemies are the people who did this, and that's it.
Mhm.
Other than that, if you talk shit on me or said whatever, or fuck you, Andy, like, dude, really, I don't care, man. Like, it's all good. Like, I've been mad about things before too. But I have a lot of respect for people that can do this in public too.
That's
We
real shit,
get
man.
we get a lot on, like, obviously we have a smaller YouTube channel. We record only once a week, but we get a lot of this. We actually have a lot of liberals that follow us and they comment back. They're like, we don't necessarily agree with Trump, with your politics, but we really appreciate that. Then I'll get emails. I recently got an email from a girl, Latina girl, and she said, I voted Biden. I've been a liberal my whole time. I've woken up. I see it. Can you please send me information on, some of Trump's accomplishments during his first term?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And we told her that we were going to make an episode instead of just like typing it so that people can like watch it and like send it to their family members. But we get these all the time. Like, in fact, I have a TikTok that I showed it yesterday on our stream, of a Black woman. And she says, I'm one of the, 81 million people. How many allegedly voted for Biden?
81.
Yeah, 81.
She goes, I'm one of the 81.
81.
Yeah, she's like, I'm one of the 81 million
No.
that voted. Huh?
81.
81.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not million.
Okay, 81 people. I'm one of the 81 people that voted Biden and put him in the White House. And
Yeah.
she's like, he was like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm voting for Trump. And every time you guys go after Trump, I want to vote for him harder.
Yeah.
And she's like, and no white man is gonna tell me that I'm not Black if I don't vote for Biden. No Black man is gonna tell me that I'm a and a sellout and a this and a that. F you. She was throwing her. It's like, F you. I'm done.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm done. So
Good.
you
Fucking
find a
great,
lot of
man.
that on TikTok, actually, more than any app.
Dude,
A lot of
listen,
it.
real talk. I think everybody's done with it. I appreciate this message very, very much. But I remind you guys that all hated me in 2020 to come back to First Form too. Dude, you know how many messages I got from people that are like, fuck you, I'm never using your shit. I'm like, my shit's the best though. Fuck you though.
Still good stuff,
Yeah,
man.
right.
That's
So,
real shit, man.
but
Well,
anyhow,
Dustin.
Listen, I like it. I
Yeah.
appreciate you, Dustin. Mad respect to you and anybody else who's willing to say these things. It's not necessary, but I think it's a great example for other people to read and see.
100%, man. Dustin, we got a little something for you. It'll be coming your
You're
way.
gonna send him a Trump flag?
No, actually, I was gonna do whatever's in Keith's right pocket. What you got?
What you got in there?
There
Ah,
we go, Dustin. We'll box it up for you. It's coming, I promise. And shout out to everybody else, guys. You guys are being awesome fans. Again, want to just say thank you guys for all the love and support.
Yeah,
Keep
and
doing
thanks for
that.
sharing the show, guys.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah, it is important.
It's very, very important. So we always appreciate that here at Real AF. So, but let's get back into it.
These are so funny, by the way. The
Oh,
covers.
that's
They-
all my doubt
that-
right there.
I
Yeah.
love it
Our
when you post
graphics.
them on your story. Yeah, they're so funny. I hope you come up with a good one for us, please.
Oh, he's got it. I saw it. Good. All right, let's get right back into
My favorite poster that we've ever had was the one we just
the
had.
one we just did.
Last
Yeah.
se- I actually had, like, this is true story. So I'm having David August, Chad from David August. So David August is like the premier suit maker. They make all my suits. That's why I look so pimp in them.
Mhm.
All right.
Nice.
So David August is making me those exact outfits for me. And you. I swear, dude.
That's gonna be great.
I'm getting them made. We're gonna wear them on a show.
Nice.
Yep. We're gonna wear them at the inauguration.
I love it, man. All right, well, guys, let's get right back to the cruise. We got headline number 2. Headline number 2 reads, Donald Trump to surrender. Be arrested in Fulton County, Georgia, Thursday.
Free my boy. That's all I can say. Free my boy.
Hey, listen.
Free Trump's gonna become the biggest fucking hashtag
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, we're going to start it right here on Really
Yeah.
Up.
Free Trump.
Yeah. Well, I got free my boy Trump, actually, I think.
Free my
How
boy Trump.
fucking dare they?
Yeah, free my boy Trump. That's
Yeah,
the
but
hashtag.
but Linda,
How
you know
fucking
what's
dare
gonna
they.
happen.
No, I know.
It's Thanos, bro. The more you throw at this dude, he just sucks the power in, man.
No, that's
Yeah.
Wakanda.
Whatever.
That's
He's
Black
Wakanda.
Panther.
then.
Yeah, he's a Black Panther.
Is that how it works in Wakanda?
Yeah, you like the suit he has on? Like,
Well, that's right. The Wakanda.
I never saw that movie.
that's how you know Trump's black.
He is black. He's a fuck.
He was a black icon.
He
Three
was.
baby mamas.
Listen,
You know, yeah, 3 baby mamas. Now he's getting a Rico case.
Yeah,
just
right.
like,
Hey, that's
just like
real
Gunna
shit.
bro,
and Young
real
Thug.
shit.
this
Yeah,
motherfucker,
I know about the culture, by the way.
dude, this dude was a cultural icon of rap music
Icon.
up until 2016.
Mm-hmm. Once he dropped the
Have
D.
you
He's
seen-
coming back though, dude. Like we see all the rappers and everybody's starting to get with him now.
Bro, the
Have you
dude, you guys see
seen,
the video, the guy who made that
seen-
song, F- Donald Trump?
He said he was wrong for making it.
And not only that, he also said that all the guys that he knows,
Yeah.
they're
fucking
all
with Trump.
flipped. Yeah, I think it's great, man. So let's dive into this real quick, though. So former President Trump will surrender and be processed at the Fulton County Jail Thursday afternoon on charges stemming from the 4th indictment against him in 5 months. Trump announced on Monday he would travel to Atlanta, Georgia for his surrender charges, alleging he, lawyers, and aides engaged in multiple crimes, including racketeering, in their challenge of the 2020 elections results. His bond has been set at a nice $200,000. Now, according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, the surrender will take place this afternoon. Far-left Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis pursued the charges from a grand jury following a 2.5-year-long investigation and notably launched a re-election fundraising website days before the indictment came down. While mugshots of Trump were never taken during his first 3 indictment proceedings, 2 of which were federal and 1 which was in New York State, Fulton County Sheriff Pat Labott promised to snap a mugshot of Trump. However, it
thank you so
remains
much.
unclear if Trump will be subjected to taking a mugshot. Speaking of mugshots, we got his co-conspirators, right? His little
His
gaggle of
posse.
bandits, right? They all been
Really
been done.
scary people here.
They got my boy Rudy, man. They
Judy
got-
Rudy,
Yeah,
America's
Judy Rudy,
mayor,
bro.
bro.
Man.
bro.
Disgusting, despicable pieces of
First of
crap.
all, we know Rudy personally,
Yeah.
both DJ and I.
Been to your house.
Bro,
Well,
he's
wait,
been to my
should
house.
we say that? They might get included in the RICO.
He's been to my house. He's been in my garage.
Yeah,
We've had a drink together.
he's a good dude.
You know, the guy is a fucking cool motherfucker.
Cool.
He's so smart too.
Super
Of
smart.
course.
Dude,
He's-
remember
he
that
took out the
convers-
mafia.
Bro, that conversation we had up in
Mhm.
Emily's office was one of the coolest conversations ever.
No,
But I can't talk about
just tell you how cool it was.
it. Yeah.
Uncle Rudy, like,
Yeah.
no. Jenna Ella's iconic. I hate her, but I'm happy that she's
Which,
happy.
which one's that?
Look at her
This one here?
smiling. She's
This
the one
one?
smiling.
Good for her. Good
Yeah.
for her. I really like that attitude.
Look at Sydney.
These are
man.
all lawyers, by the way.
I'll tell you this though.
These are
This
all
guy,
lawyers.
who's this guy? He did not help himself.
No.
He didn't help himself at all.
No, but the homie at the bottom under Jenna, he put his mugshot as his profile picture on X. I'm not kidding. I swear to God, it's his profile picture. I saw yesterday.
This is Trump's mugshot.
Look, bro, that Trump mugshot is going to be one of the most famous photographs in
Yeah.
history.
In
No, it's real
history.
shit.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like the Elvis.
And the
it's gonna
Pablo
be-
Escobar.
It's gonna be like the Pablo
Yeah.
Escobar.
Mhm.
I was just looking at the Elvis one because I was telling my
Yeah.
t-shirt guy, I'm like, we're gonna print these. So I
Mhm.
want you to get examples of these.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's crazy, man. And speaking, Linda, you actually alluded to it earlier, how the right's response, Republican general response to most
No.
of these attacks that we get.
Said
this
really
hel-
strong words this time.
yeah,
Just
or another committee. So this headline reads: House Judiciary Committee probing DA Fannie Willis
oh, I'm so scared.
regarding motivations for Trump prosecution. So
Is Fannie Willis a Soros appointed
Yeah.
prosecutor?
Of
Mhm.
course.
Yeah,
Okay.
makes
wanna-
sense.
Just want to ask that question.
Yeah, Yeah. So the House
You
committee
already knew that, but just for the
for the
people.
record.
Yeah, for the record.
The House Committee on the Judiciary is probing Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis regarding her motivations for prosecuting former President Donald Trump. Jim Jordan, the chairman of that committee, wrote a letter, sent that down to Fulton County, and it's long, but he listed out 3 main points that he attacked Fani on. The first one being the then White House Chief of Staff asking for this. So he's basically explaining why this whole thing is bullshit. He said it listed out 3 points. So first, the then White House Chief of Staff asking a member of Congress for the phone number of the Speaker of the Pennsylvania House of Representatives. 2, the then president tweeting that hearings in the Georgia legislature were being aired on a news channel and commenting on those hearings. And 3, numerous acts taking place in other states not involving the conduct of the 2020 election in the Georgia or the counting of the votes cast in Georgia. Your indictment and prosecution implicates substantial federal interest and the circumstances surrounding your actions raise serious concerns about whether they are politically motivated. He listed out 3 actions. He told her that they had to submit all documents and communications referring or relating to the Fulton County District Attorney's Office since January 1st of 2021. All documents and communications between the Fulton County District Attorney's Office and the DOJ, because there's possibly a little corroboration there between the DOJ and Fulton County District Attorney's Office. All their emails, communications, all of that stuff has to be revealed. And then any communication between the DA's office and the federal executive branch regarding this investigation. They have to turn all of that stuff in by September 7th. We'll see how that goes.
It's another really scary committee.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, but here's my thing that I've always
Uh-huh.
worried about, right? Like when they put these subpoenas down to get these documentations and stuff, right? Like, what's to say that they're actually going to be getting like, bro, listen,
They could have destroyed a bunch of stuff.
that's what I'm saying. And like, how would you actually be able to tell if what they're sending is all of it? Or
Oh,
if
and
it's
also,
legit to
did
begin
something
with?
happen with the people that pushed the Russian collusion hoax? No. There's never any
What's the
accountability.
That's my problem.
Never.
Yeah.
There's they
That's my
always have
problem.
these hearings and very strong words, and Matt Gaetz comes out and all these people. And like, I like them. I'm not saying in general that they come out. Nothing ever happens to them. You know, I think, and we broke this down in our podcast and the first slide that you showed. What's really scary about this indictment and the one in, what was the other? Not the Florida one.
The New York.
No, the Washington D.C. Remember when he
Mhm.
was in D.C. They're trying to criminalize free speech.
Mhm.
Like when you look at the 96 pages of this indictment, and they go through the acts of the crime committed allegedly, they talk about, the president tweeted that people should go watch the reporting live on One American News Network, which, by the way, was banned from DirecTV, I think.
Mhm.
The president tweeted that people should go watch Newsmax. Like, how is that
A crime.
a crime? How is that even listed as an act that's part of this case?
Yeah.
They're trying to criminalize free speech.
Well, I think more
And the
important-
same thing with the indictment in Washington D.C. is bogus and bananas.
Yeah, well, see, how I look at this, Linda, is that they are trying. They don't care about the optics. They don't care about what we currently think about any of this. They don't. Their goal is to. They are writing the history books for the next generation.
Uh-huh.
They're writing the history books for the next 50 fucking years, right? So that way, when our kids and our grandkids look back, this is what they're going to have to
Mhm.
see. They're going to see. They're going to see
A president that's trying to overthrow
Rudy
the election.
Giuliani,
Right.
And
That
locked
goes,
up.
yeah, DJ, there's more to that too. Like that goes into the, the January 6th vigil that they did, where they had all those people and it was broadcast on all the news
Oh
networks.
my God, yeah.
And they had a candlelight vigil on the anniversary of January 6th.
All of a
and you
sudden,
have-
they like cops.
Yeah, and you have Kamala Harris saying December 7th, 1941.
Mhm.
9/11, September 11th, 2001. January 6th, 2021. Like, listen, bitch. Let me tell you something. Nobody out here fucking thinks that those are the same things.
Mhm.
No
and
one.
anybody that that's them painting the future history books.
Yep.
So that when we go back and Google it, your kids and they go back and Google this, they're like, look at the visual,
Mhm.
look at this,
It must
look
be
at that.
bad.
And okay. So if that's the case, all right, and that's the history that this is going to make my point that I made earlier. If that's what they're planning on doing, what are they planning on doing with the people that know the truth?
Camps.
Okay. They're planning on removing them from society somehow. They have a plan for that. I don't know exactly what it is, but I think I know what it is. And when you remember Trump tweeting that black and white photo where he's like pointing and he says, actually, they're not coming for me. They're coming for you.
That's never been more clear than in the last 3 years.
That's right.
And it's never been more clear than in the last 3 years. And I'll tell you this. After they go for the lawyers, they're gonna go after news personalities and other people.
Oh,
they're gonna come
100%.
after Tucker Carlson.
No. They're already harassing those people.
They're gonna come after the Charlie Kirks of the world. They're
Ask
gonna
me how
come
I know.
after the PragerUs of the world. That's what they're gonna start doing.
I don't know if they're going to go after PragerU, but they're going to definitely go after Tucker.
They're gonna go after Charlie.
They're going to
Kirk.
go after.
They're gonna go after Charlie Kirk, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because Charlie Kirk had buses of people being bused to January 6th.
Dude, listen, they're going to go after everybody.
Mhm.
They fuck with me. Like I could tell you story. Listen, we've had to arrest 7 people between January 1st and today for like harassment and showing up here. And like, these are all people, every single one of them that is like legitimately mentally disturbed, like manic episode. It reminds me of these people who are doing the school shootings.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which
what's
we've
the,
also
what's
uncovered
the
on this
problem
show where
with
they.
first? Is it you and first
No, it's me.
form?
It's me. It's not first form. It's me.
It's you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But regardless, the point is, these people are so deceitful and so criminal and so calculated that most human beings do not understand. Like when you say things like, oh, well, the 3-letter agencies have a program called MK Ultra and they actually use mind control to get people to do shit. That sounds crazy. Most people are like, that sounds crazy. There's no way. That's not true.
Yeah, until you see them.
That's right.
Literally.
Well, you see 7 of them.
Until you see them.
That's this year.
Yeah.
And they are crazy. And you're like, yeah,
Dude.
they got MK Ultra.
These guys, they are, I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know how it's done, but they are taking people who are they're in a certain place, they're a certain age with a certain background and a certain fucking life, and they're programming these people to do very bad things. I'm 100% convinced because how many are all these people that have come here for that? They're all the exact same. They're almost catatonic in state.
There's too many common denominations that like wouldn't just add up statistically.
Dude, when I tell you these people come off as like hypnotized, like catatonic, like you're looking at them, talking to them, and their eyes are dead. I've seen it. He's seen it.
I got the video.
No, there's no soul in these people.
Because
They're
their
quite
shit's been
literally-
fucked with.
Yeah.
And dude, our
It's what they
government.
did to Kanye told us. They send them to Zombieland. What more do the people want? They literally
that's
said.
exactly
They
description.
literally said they want to send me back to Zombieland.
Yeah.
Post text messages, not just of his handler, which by the way, it's the same Hollywood handler for other people. We can get into this
A
conversation.
whole bunch
later.
of people.
A whole bunch of people, but also of his lawyer that threatened him with not only sending him to Zombieland, but like, you're never gonna see your kids again.
Yeah.
And he told us that.
Yeah.
And he showed us that.
Yeah.
And he ended up in the hospital, in the mental hospital.
Listen,
So,
but see, that's,
more,
but when
know.
you talk to like, if you talk about this in public, people are like, dude, like I see it all the time. Like I see the comments people say about the stuff that I talk about. Like, they're like, bro, this dude's a real conspiracy theorist. Holy shit. No, I'm not. I'm pointing out things that you just can't, they're so evil and so bad that a regular person can't wrap their mind around.
You haven't seen it or touched it.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
That's it.
Yeah, sure stuff. I think one more thing too on this same point, the same headline, talking about the optics, right? So like all of the other indictments, majority of them, they've all been closed courtroom proceedings, right? Yep. Not in Georgia. Judge just allowed the local cameras to come in.
Oh my God, pieces of crap.
And so while that's going on the inside, I thought this was interesting to bring up. What's going on the outside? Large crowd gathers outside of Fulton County Jail, waiting Trump's
I have a
arrival.
bunch of friends there. Yeah.
Now, I was able to find this video, I just thought this was perfect. I feel like this man that I'm about to show you guys needs to be protected at all costs. So here's the video. I'll just play this real quick.
I'm here to support President Trump. You want to know why I'm here to support President Trump? because they done did black men like this for decades. Make up charges and put them, so I know Trump is innocent. I support Trump against this corrupt, two-tiered justice system. That's why I'm here to show my support as a black man for Trump. And I'm wearing my shirt for Trump 2024, and I mean
I need
that.
one.
What do you think about the indictments?
Oh, it's a bunch of bullshit. It's going around the country. You know, Fannie Willis, she went to school with my sister. She full of shit. She was full of shit. So she's a puppet for the white liberal that is controlling everything. She's in front, but the white liberal back there pulling those strings, telling her what to do. That's what I think about her, making a fool of herself.
This man
Do you think
gets
it's
it.
going to help his election?
Of course it is. It's going to elevate him all the way. I think we should make Trump king. That's how I feel. We should make him king.
Wouldn't that be like kind of like communistic?
No, that's nowhere near communist. Now, we just going to make him king, but we still got our freedoms and rights and everything. He for that. Yeah, Trump for king 2024.
URL. Own that URL.
You own that URL?
Hi, can I get your name?
Really? Oh, my name is for Trump 2024. Derek Gibson, former candidate. I'm a former candidate for New York State Governor. Derek Gibson, look me
Did you hear
up.
the white guy?
This is going to show Republicans that
You
have
love
been
that shit, don't you? Joe's got a couple multi-platinum albums that he's produced.
Yeah, Nelly never let him say it.
That's right. Joe's like, finally one for us. Oh, dude, I want that shirt bad. I want that shirt. First of all, that's a great point he makes, by the way. Like, take away the comedy. He's making a great point here. What's happening here is waking up the black community.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I know.
This is, and also it's going to show Republicans that these people haven't been wrong.
Yeah.
The justice system is.
Well, I don't think Republicans have ever thought that the black communities were wrong.
Absolutely, they have.
No,
absolutely, they
Who?
have, Andy. I
Who?
disagree with you. I disagree with you
Well,
on this for sure.
You could disagree, but that means you're still wrong.
No, I'm not wrong. Republicans don't. First of all, because here's the thing: BLM really destroyed the face of criminal justice system and police brutality because they did a horrible job at basically blaming the white man for everything. So then what's the counter reaction to that? Fuck these people. Fuck your movement. Who cares?
Yeah.
But is that
but that's not Republicans.
But no, I mean, but is that
But who then
is that saying that it doesn't
opposes?
exist?
See, I have a different viewpoint. Here's my viewpoint. I'm from St. Louis, okay? Well, we have a very large black population here. And in fact, I would say that our country's been destroyed by leftist policies, and our blacks in St. Louis have been destroyed by leftist policies long before most of the other country. And this whole entire time, these people come in here and they say, the reason your shit is fucked up is because of the Republicans. And that's never been true. I've talked to, and by the way, I don't even identify as a Republican, but I've never heard a Republican say some shit like not understanding what's actually going on. Like when I talk to Republicans, the ones I know, they completely understand that the Democrats go into the black communities, at least around here, because it's been going on for a long time. The Democrats go into the black communities, make a bunch of bullshit promises, say they're going to fix all these problems, and they're going to say, you know what? The Republicans caused all this shit. We're going to fix it. And then they get voted in, they go in, they don't try to fix it. They actually try to make it worse, and they steal all the money that they're supposed to use
But
to fix
that's
it.
not what I'm referring to.
Yeah,
So,
but like,
But I'm saying, I think what you're getting to, Linda, like, that's my question. Is like, do
criminal
you think-
justice reform. That's what I'm
right?
talking
But
about.
I don't think I've never met a Republican that doesn't agree that it needs to happen.
Yeah.
I think
I'll
now,
give you
if
big
you were to say that
names.
like they've ignored the black community, that I mean that's a valid argument. But again, it's only been ignored
So-
because they get beat down for being a Republican because they're blamed for all the problems in those communities.
So, for example, Trump signed they passed the criminal justice reform while
First
we
Step
were
Act.
first, right.
Mhm.
And he got backlash from establishment Republicans. Tommy Lauren was one of the biggest ones. You can look it up right now, who was complaining against it. In fact, DeSantis's campaign is attacking him for being soft on crime. We know that's not true. But what they're trying to use is the criminal justice reform, right? That was supposed to help people, as this gentleman just said. They're attacking Trump for saying some of these guys are getting out. Most of them are black, by the way, or Latinos, and they're going back to the streets to commit crimes, right? Has it happened? Yeah, a very small percentage of them has, because it's human nature and, shit happens, but not all of them. So there is like the DeSantis campaign and those Republicans that don't want Trump to come back in, the very establishment, the Bushes of the world, they attack Trump over his criminal justice reform policy.
I think there's two different things. I mean, I think these are two different conversations. There's what happens. There's the conversation on crime about the crime that happens before those people get to jail, and then there's what happens when those people get to jail, right? Like once they're in jail, how do we deal with them?
Right.
And I think that's a whole different conversation about how do we deal with them before they get to jail.
Yeah.
Like how do we, that goes down to defunding the police and all that type of
Well,
stuff.
how do you think it should be?
Well, I'm just saying. My point was basically that the establishment Republicans, because you and I, despite the fact that we may identify with
No,
the
I get it.
Republican Party,
Yeah.
we're not. Like
No.
I'm not a Republican. I'm just not. I'm more of an independent.
I'm just a human that thinks.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is the party before Trump that still remains,
Mhm.
right? Those very
The
establishment
ones we call
Republicans.
rhinos.
Exactly. Those people have criticized Trump over trying to change doing the criminal justice reform that this guy talks about. Why? Because the Black community has been the most impacted by certain, like the 1994 criminal act that Joe Biden was part of, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm like we
No, I get it.
misunderstood each
I get
other.
it. Yeah,
but
but
I agree with Trump's criminal justice reform because Barack Obama promised to do that in 8 years and he couldn't get it done.
so
you know?
so what
So
I'm
I
asking
agree with
is
him.
how should it be? Like
And-
how what is the optimal, in your opinion, way to deal with the crime that's happening?
Well, the crime is going to be localized for the most part. That's going to be a state and local issue. So when you have district attorneys or DAs and attorney generals who don't care, like for example, California, what's this guy's name that's letting everyone out, right? If you steal under $950, that's why we're seeing all these
Doesn't even matter.
flash mobs coming in,
Right.
right? So first of all, this is a per state issue. It's not a federal thing to take care of. So the people are electing, well, we can talk about voting discrepancies or not, but the people are electing these soft on crime, criminal justice people. San Francisco actually got rid of one, Chesa Boudin or whatever. They recalled that guy because it got so bad in San Francisco.
Mhm.
It affected mostly the Asian community. They gathered, they got rid of that guy. They haven't done it in LA, so LA it's progressively getting worse. I'm sure you guys have a terrible person here as well.
Yeah, we did, and they replaced her with another one.
We have bad people in Florida too because it all comes down to local politics, right? So this is a very localized problem when it comes to crime. A lot of the
Do you agree that criminals should be afraid to commit crime?
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
I'm of the camp of cutting hands off for stealing. I'm of the camp of violent offenders go to prison forever. I'm of the camp of pedophiles go in the wood chipper publicly. I'm of the camp of treasonous politicians are publicly executed.
Yeah.
I'm of the camp that only works if we have real ethical people running the play.
Well, that's
And
what
the problem
that's why
is we don't
Nayib
have that right
Bukele,
now.
That's why the president of El Salvador is so popular because El Salvador had dealt with 30 years of gang.
Yeah, you talk about the young guy?
Mhm.
Yeah, he's turned it around.
So, but what did he have to do? He literally had to break through the two-party system. His party, which is called New Ideas, Nuevas Ideas, is who runs the entire government.
Mhm.
They have 80% of the chamber of Congress, so they can do whatever they want. He
And
got
they're
rid
cleaning it
of
up.
he got rid of all of the Supreme Court justices because he has the power to do that through the legislation. Kamala Harris and the United States was like, no, this is like a dictator. No, it's not. It's in their constitution. They can do it. If it's in their bylaws and they can do it, it's not dictatorship. It's not a dictatorship. You may think that way because you want to continue to keep your preferred puppets in each country that does your little favors and allows for criminal gangs to do whatever they want in the country. But that only works when you literally clean house, which is what they've done. They take complete control of the government. And then he says, guess what? I'm going to use the military to crack down on crime. You know, that's what they're doing. So what's happening in El Salvador right now, my friend just ran for mayor in San Salvador. He lost. It's his first time. Not a big deal. Very young guy. I'm sure he'll make it. And what's happening right now is that let's say that there's a crime. Again, very small, very, very small country. So let's say there's a crime right now, whatever, in a city or in a sector of the city. The military is sent in and they will lock down that perimeter or that area until they get the guy out, or the guys or the gang members or whoever it is, and then people can resume back to their
I like
normal
that.
activities. And so they have a problem with that. The U.S. has a problem with that, along with international bodies of law, right? The UN, you know, our friends, the globalists, because they say that he's running a dictatorship and that he is fucking with people's civil rights, because a lot of times they have to go on lockdown to be able to get these criminals out. Now you got to understand
I don't believe that violent criminals are entitled to civil rights.
Okay.
I think they're talking about the civilians
right,
here.
exactly. They're talking about
But
regular
I'm sure if you
civilians.
ask them,
I was about to go there.
I'm
So
sure
when
if
you
you ask
ask,
them, they're fine.
when
They love it.
right, of
Yeah.
course. So during lockdown, what were we told? What is it that they had to do during lockdown? They had to do a es un golpe de estado. Shit, I forgot how the translation. Like when they go into an emergency and they lock everything down. What is that called?
State of emergency.
Yeah. So they have the state of emergency. So when they say, oh, it's state of emergency, you know, a woman was raped and murdered or whatever, we're locking
You talking
down.
about martial law?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're constantly under martial law, except the civilians are not really affected. Like they still have mobility. They can still go to work, but you're gonna see the military walking around certain areas until they find the people. And when you ask the citizens, because my podcast partner just went with her husband down to El Salvador, she's like, everyone is fucking happy. Like street vendors selling stuff on the street can take Bitcoin. Okay, these people selling arepas and you know juices and whatever it is that they sell, they can take Bitcoin. They're finally able to work. You know, these gang members were stealing from them, raping their women, stealing
Yeah.
children so they could be part of their
Yeah.
gangs.
And then the government officials
And
is,
then they help 'em.
sympathize. Yes.
So
That's what's
when-
happening
if you-
here.
if you ask the citizens, do you have a problem with going in a state of emergency to find the 3 gang members that raped a woman or whatever, killed somebody in your little town? Or they're like, no, we don't care. We're fine with this because we dealt with 30 years of bullshit, having, you know, losing everything.
Which, by the
Honestly-
way, how did the 30 years start? Oh, it started with fixed elections. It started exactly as what's happening now.
Yeah. So you have to have a very tough hand. And when we have been brainwashed, particularly the white race, to feel bad because certain criminals are Black or Latinos or whatever it is. So, you know, that's how they got San Francisco to turn completely into a shithole.
Yeah.
But we have to feel bad. You know, this criminal justice reform and social justice reform, you know, $900 on anything under $950 doesn't count. People are going through and stealing everything. You know what I noticed yesterday? Because I wanted to go to Walgreens in downtown where I'm staying. Everything was closed by 8:30. And I'm convinced that all these Walgreens and CVS's are closed in downtown because of
oh no,
crime.
there's no, yeah,
8:30?
absolutely.
Oh, no.
8:30?
Yeah.
In Miami,
Listen,
I mean,
listen. People have no idea. St. Louis, because it's not a big city, does not get the press for how bad shit is here.
I'm like in shock
What did you tell us before the show? You
that
said
this place is like,
a
I
third
feel
world
like
country.
it's like a Baghdad or something, like bombs over Baghdad. That's what I can think of.
Because it is.
Influencer that I ran into, he's like, I spent 9 years in Iraq, and I can tell you that yes, this place is fucking horrible. It reminds me of, so you drive through certain areas and it looks like a bomb had been dropped in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
The infrastructure's falling apart.
You move outside the city limits, it's great.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Like so
The
like
suburbs.
once you go 10 minutes away from there, shit is perfect.
But it's almost like New York. You go to upstate New York and you go outside of New
Yeah.
York and it's beautiful. Get out of LA. It's freaking beautiful.
Yeah.
It's the same for almost every single one of these shithole liberal cities.
Real shit, man. Guys, join this conversation on YouTube if you want to join in. Hashtag free my boy Trump. With that being said, let's go on to our third and final headline number 3. Headline number 3 reads, Wagner boss Yevgeny Prigozhin jet appeared fine 30 seconds before crash amid rumors bomb was hidden in a wine crate.
Interesting.
Now listen, I think this shit's just about as fake as India landing on the moon.
Which part?
The whole thing. I mean, listen. I mean, did a plane crash? I'm sure. You know, but did he go down? I don't know. And listen, there are some conspiracy theories that are already popping up, counter evidence, things like that. So let's just dive into this headline number 3. This is a New York Post article reading. Wagner mercenary chief Yevgeny Prigozhin dooms plane, private plane, showed no signs of distress until a sudden drop 30 seconds before the deadly crash in Russia, amid speculation that the rogue warlord's plane may have been downed by a bomb hidden in a crate of wine. The Embraer, how you spell that? How you say that?
Embraer.
Got it. The Embraer.
How the fuck can you say that guy's name, but you can't say that?
I don't think I said his name right.
I think it sounded like you may have said it right.
Prigozhin?
Yeah.
Prigozhin?
Sounds like a pharmaceutical drug.
It
If you were a loved one.
That Legacy 600 is a nice jet.
That's a pretty decent jet. We flew on one.
It's real nice.
Yeah, we went on one. That was not bad. Yeah, so it was him and other senior Wagner Group members listed among the 10 passengers showed no indication that there was anything wrong earlier in the flight Wednesday, according to Ian Pacheknik of the flight tracking site Flight Radar 24. It then made a, quote, sudden downward vertical at 5:19 p.m. local time, and within about 30 seconds plummeted more than 8,000 feet from its cruising altitude of 28,000 feet. Quote, whatever happened quickly, Pacheknik said. Quote, they may have been wrestling with the aircraft after whatever happened. Now, here's a video. I'm sure everybody's already seen it. For those of you guys on YouTube, you can check this video out. For those of you guys listening on audio, go to andyfrisella.com. You can find them there. Here's the video.
I haven't seen it, actually.
Это крылья, думаешь?
Вон там движок.
Ты думаешь, второй тоже
Apparently, this is,
мертвый?
we're
Один весь
looking at
разорванный, а
the
второй
video.
тоже?
Just, I mean, it's a plane crash.
1795 написано на
Yeah.
Plane crash.
That's a plane crash. And I mean, there's other videos of it, like, spiraling out of the sky.
So was the bad guy, the warlord, in it?
Yeah, apparently.
Allegedly.
And
yeah.
his
Now, that was the guy
allegedly.
from the thing a few months ago, right?
Yes,
Correct.
the coup that he
Right.
wanted to do the
Right.
coup.
Which was all planned.
Yeah.
Right? Which we've reported here on Real AF. It came out. It was a genius plan, right? But here's the thing. So conspiracies are already popping up online everywhere that this may not be what it is made out to be, right? And we've learned here on Real AF that, when things like this happen, you can't just jump to conclusions, right?
Mhm.
Give it time to breathe, because there's always more information that comes out. And just like in this case, there's a second plane, second jet spotted after Prigozhin's crash sparks rumor Wagner boss faked his death, right? So speculation has grown that Prigozhin may have evaded the fiery fate after news spread that a second private jet linked to the Wagner Group landed safely in St. Petersburg around the same time as the crash. Footage showed the second jet, another Embraer ERJ 135BJ Legacy 650 aircraft, landing safely at Ostaveyo Airport. It's not the first time Prigozhin, 62, was mistakenly thought to be dead. Last month, a former U.S. military leader speculated that Prigozhin was either dead or jailed following a much publicized meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin after his botched rebellion, a meeting that was likely faked. Now, here is the most interesting part about this whole development before we get into discussion. This headline reads, expect us. Wagner mercenaries threaten revenge. March on Moscow after warlord's death. So purported members of the Russian Wagner mercenary group released chilling videos threatening revenge and a new, quote, march of justice on Moscow after their leader, Yevgeny Prigozhin, reportedly died in a fiery jet crash. Now, they have not identified any of the bodies. They've not confirmed. They just have the flight list, right? And there's been plenty of times, like, just so people understand how this stuff works, you send a flight list in well before you get on that plane. We've had plenty of times where people who we thought were going to be on the plane didn't come, but guess what? They're still on the flight log.
Yeah, and then it delays the whole thing.
Right.
They're like, where are these people? Oh, they're not here. Oh, we got to do a new thing.
Right.
Right.
And
So
they have to verify who's dead. Like,
Right.
And it's burned.
It's definitely not that bad, but I mean, it's definitely checked.
For sure. So a Telegram channel associated with Prigozhin's private army released a short clip showing a trio of masked men dressed in camouflage and body armor making vague threats of retaliation. Quote, there are many discussions about what Wagner would do now, one of the supposed mercenaries says in the 8-second video. Quote, we'll say one thing. We're already starting off. Expect us. Some critics have raised questions about the authenticity of the footage, claiming it was the handiwork of Ukrainian security services aimed at sowing panic in Russia, but there was no concrete evidence to support that theory. They continued in the video, quote, today we saw how the little Kremlin filth wiped out Yevgeny Vitrovich, the masked fighter says in an altered voice, apparently referring to Russia's leader. He then goes on to issue a sinister, quote-unquote, order to all Wagner units to retrieve their buried assault rifles, machine guns, and grenades, presumably in preparation for an unspecified retaliatory act. Quote, all of us who have fought all these years are seeing that this devil has played long enough. The mercenary adds, again seemingly referencing Putin, quote, await future orders and victory will be ours. Glory to Russia. What do we got on this, guys?
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. I mean, shit, man. They don't allow us to see any of the things that Putin says on TV.
Well, so he did make a comment. So he
Yeah,
came
but
out
how
with-
do we know?
What did he say?
Yeah, his comment was basically like, listen, like, Yevgeny, he's a good friend of mine. I've known him for a long time. He's done a lot of good stuff. He's had, he said something about having like, some ill fate. But he shared his condolences for all of the passengers on the board. If it is true, said Russia's going to be launching their own investigation to determine the cause. The U.S., our intel services came out and said something about there was a possibility of a rocket taking down the jet that would have came from somewhere inside of Russia. But then there's talks about this wine crate that was on board. But the interesting thing with the wine crate is that his plane was searched by bomb dogs and everything right before they took off. So, I mean, like, this guy, he knows he has enemies. I mean, I'm sure he's going to put in the proper precautions, right? Like, I mean, I don't know. There's just a lot. And like I said, I think it's just important for all of us when news like this and stuff like this breaks, like you can't just jump in one way or the other. Let's get some more information. I just thought it was definitely a weird development because what we do know is that there's a lot of hands involved in this little pot of honey.
Yeah. Look, man, I have a bigger picture thought on this particular story because it's so hard to understand what's going on. And people need to come to the understanding that we don't know what's actually happening.
Mhm.
Like, we are only told what they want to tell us, and there is no transparency. There is no truth. We are fed a narrative that is geared to produce behavior that they want. And anything that we watch on TV, anything that we watch from our government can no longer be assumed to be true or credible.
Yeah.
When you
That's
go,
a fact.
yeah, nothing.
Literally
And
nothing.
it's intentionally designed to confuse and create a narrative that we are supposed to believe and then go along with without any proof or validation from any source. And when our own government, in our own media, and our own big tech social media platforms do not allow us to see full statements of other people's speeches or other people's, information that they're giving out, it prevents us from understanding what truly is going on.
Yeah.
And they make these censorship, these decisions to censor things with the idea that, we know what's best because we know what's true.
Yeah.
But the problem is it's creating this society of people that have no idea what's actually going on. And then you combine that with this ideology of, up is down, left is right, 2 + 2 = 5, men are women are men. And we have a society of people that have, it creates mental illness because you never
That's the
actually,
word.
yeah, you never actually know what is actually true. What we believe to be true in 2000, right, in 1999 was believable because there wasn't access to so much information. So people say, well, we need to go back to 1999 or 2000 the way it was then. Well, how do you know? How do you know that what they were saying then was actually true? Because there was no recourse for the information. How do you know that you haven't been being lied to even worse then than you are now? Right? We don't know. And that's a big problem. There has to be transparency. There has to be truth. And the only way to get to truth is through transparency, where we're allowed to see what Vladimir Putin's saying, or what Xi Jinping is actually saying, or what, these stories actually are. And unfortunately, the world media has been infiltrated by members of the World Economic Forum that are intent on confusing the entire world for their own benefit.
Yeah.
Their statement, their slogan is "Out of chaos comes order." Like that's their slogan, and they're trying to make as much
For
chaos.
the World Economic Forum?
Mhm.
I didn't see
It's
that.
a thing that Klaus Schwab talks about all the time.
Yeah,
Um,
I honestly, like, it's kind of hard to see what's true or not coming from the other side of the world, especially with, especially from Russia. If they're gonna believe, if the guy did die in the event that he is dead, him and his the other people, they're gonna 100% blame Putin, because this is what they've done time and time again. Putin kills off his enemies, puts him in jail, does this, does that. So it's pretty much what they're gonna do. They're just gonna
Well, it's
blame
what they
Putin
want you
for
to think of him.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
it's in line with that.
I know it kind of goes with the conversation just real quick, but like, you guys have heard of like the Uyghur camps in China that
Yeah.
they talk about.
Mhm.
So I've always been very skeptical of that narrative for a few reasons. Um, but there was this one time that I was like just kind of bored and wanted to see what people in the other side of the world were saying about that, just because I just don't believe it. And it turns out that there's a lot of people online, mostly on X. You could find some on Facebook as well, that their story is not that they're in concentration camps. Their story is that this Muslim population of that side of China, who doesn't know the English, who doesn't know the language or anything, what they are actually doing is making sure that they learn the language and a skill before they're like introduced into the general public,
Mhm.
which is why they call them like concentration camps. So when all these illegals come to the US, we just literally like dump them in the streets of New York, as we're seeing right now, with no housing, no shelter, no food, nothing, no skills, nothing. A lot of them do turn to crime, because what are they going to do? Sometimes they do get help from the government, phone, stuff like that. So the whole thing is that they're saying like, how could we be killing off? How could China be killing off the Uyghur population if in fact here are the numbers and their population is growing? Here are pictures of them in a mosque, like all these different things. I'm not saying it's completely true, but
But you're saying there's two different stories.
Right.
And that's the thing that people are refusing to understand.
Right.
And that goes on all things.
everything.
Yeah, there's perspectives of the
Yeah.
story depending on what
So-
part of it you're in.
So their perspective, and I actually heard an interview of two women, and they're like, no, what we are being taught the language, and we are being taught skills, including like, I don't know, like sewing was one of them, for example, cooking, blah blah blah. It's like, because they want us, when we do go out in public, we need to find jobs, So not to say that China's a good guys or not. I don't want to,
Well, it's interesting that, you say that. And when we think about those things, and then we think about who's funding a lot of what's going on here, it's clearly China, right? And then we think about the messages that we're fed here. What are we fed here about China through the media? We're fed that China is much stronger than us. We're
Mhm.
fed that we are weak, and our people are weak. And their people are strong. But when you actually go and talk to someone from China, they'll tell you like a lot of this stuff is bullshit, So is it possible that our entire media and our entire narrative is being made to believe that we are far less than what we actually are and they are far more than what they actually are? I think that makes a lot of sense.
But I think that the China has really changed in the last 20 to 30 years. And the only reason why I kind of believe a little bit of it is because I have friends that actually lived in China, just moved back. I have a couple that just moved back. And what they are is a communist country. But they have like an open market. Like it's like I don't even know what type of model that is, because they do have, people can work. There is luxury brands. People are, my friends were living at the W Hotel in Shanghai, like they weren't like put in like shitty
Yeah,
poor
well,
areas.
that's a misunderstanding about communism.
Right.
People don't, when people talk
It's
about
not the communism that you see in Cuba. I've been to Cuba.
Yeah.
That shit sucks.
well,
you know?
well, it would be if there were more people in Cuba. So what communism creates is a very small minority
Mhm.
of very wealthy people and a vast majority of
Mhm.
very poor, destitute people. And China has some of the richest cities in the world, but because their population is so vast, they're able to populate cities with their rich people because
Mhm.
there's more of them, right? Which Cuba wouldn't because they don't have enough people.
Mhm.
So, like, what China has going on is a very small amount of very, 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 very wealthy people and a large amount of very poor people. And that's what they're trying to create here. And most of the people here that you think are wealthy, they're not even to the level of wealth that they intend to. Like a lot of the wealthy people here say, oh, well, communism, well, I'll stay wealthy and everybody will stay poor. But you're not wealthy enough to make it over the hump. They're going to take your shit too.
Yeah.
And that's why we have a lot of successful people who are kind of turning the other way. And they're like, well, fuck it. What do I care if like the poor people get poorer?
Mhm.
Well, you should
good.
care because you're going to be part of the poor.
Well, though they did. So what happened in Cuba? If you go and you see the old houses, the houses made in the 1950s, 1960s that are run down. When they came in, if you were rich and you had like, let's say like 4 different properties, like 2 in Havana and the one in Varadero, which is a beach town, they give you a choice of like, okay, you can stay with one house, but like we're taking your other 4 houses.
Yeah. Well, look what, yeah, but look
So
what,
everybody migrated to Miami.
how'd that
you
start
know?
though? How'd that start?
A revolution.
It started just like what they're talking about here, where they're now up in the Northeast. They're saying, hey, if you have an extra room, consider
Yeah.
homing a family.
Right.
All right. And then that moves into,
Mm-hmm.
because they give these people more rights than the actual citizens of this country, that leads into a situation where, you adopt a family and they come in and live in your house and you go on vacation. And then when you come back, their whole entire
Mm-hmm.
family's there. There's fucking 50 of them. And then it's their house and it's not your house anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
that's what's happening in California with the Airbnbs too.
Correct. That's
People
how
can't kick out people out of their Airbnbs.
you can't kick people. We have squatter laws here in Missouri where it's like 6 months to get a squatter out of your real estate.
Mhm.
Like, dude, these are all leftist, communist rules. And they do this because they intend to give and repopulate our shit to those people. That's
Yeah.
100% the goal. And people will hear that, oh, that's racist. The fuck you talking about,
Yeah,
dude? It's
no.
racist to point out that they're actually telling people up in the Northeast and New York and these other places, Washington, D.C., to take these migrants into their own home who have no idea or understanding, like you just pointed out about
Yeah.
the Uyghurs, of the culture, of the
Nothing.
language, of the skills, of anything. And you bring these people in and you go away and you come back and all their cousins are there and you go back and it's their house.
Yeah. And
You
then
know,
get
like,
murdered.
Yeah.
It happened in Colombia
Yeah.
with 1 million Venezuelans. That's why there's a lot
that's
of
what they did in El Salvador.
that
It's
they're
the same thing.
they're accusing Colombians. I actually had a really big fight on Twitter a few months ago with a Venezuelan because she was saying like, oh, the Colombians are xenophobic, like we're supposed to be like brothers and sister like countries and da 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 da. And I was like, yeah, that's all cool, but the reality is that what happened in Venezuela was all the rich and middle class Venezuelans came here. They're in Miami, they're in Doral, they have businesses, they're well off, they're good, they're paying citizens, they don't commit crimes. What stayed behind, which is the poor people, they only had a choice of migrating by what? Foot, right? Where do they go? Peru, Argentina, Colombia, Brazil, their neighboring countries. And then they're poor, they come in, it's already a developing country like Colombia, and what do they have to do? Turn to crime. So where I'm from, which is Cali, they hate them. They hate Venezuelans. Like nobody wants to house them. Nobody wants to employ them. Very different than the perception of Venezuelans in Miami, which people really, really like because they're good citizens.
Well,
Right. So,
that's the case everywhere.
Yeah.
Every other country, listen, most Americans have never been out of America.
no,
So like they
haven't. I
don't
can tell.
understand. Like when you
They
go
don't
to
get it.
Europe and you go to like, let's say France, they don't like all the migrants and they are
No.
openly racist against them.
Yeah.
And like, it's actually not even really racist. It's
No, it's
just,
not.
this is our shit
Yep.
and these motherfuckers don't belong here. And that's that. That's the way the world works. Like, it's not racist to say, hey, these people who come from this other country who are not contributing to our country, we don't want them here. That's not racist. Okay.
I this is rambling. I know we're wrapping up, but I thought you guys maybe we're gonna talk about in Brazil, but just so your listeners know, in Brazil, Supreme Court 9-1 decision that you can go to jail for homophobic slurs.
I saw that.
Yeah.
And what was funny? Oh, homophobic slurs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what they get with Luna.
It's the Supreme Court, which is super lefty. They banned Telegram. Telegram's not allowed in Brazil. They're obviously the ones that also banned Bolsonaro from ever running for president.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny that I see people celebrating, and the people don't think, right? They're short-sighted. Not all of us, not everybody's as smart as we are, right?
That's fact.
Be narcissistic, but that's just a fact. And people are like celebrating, like, yes, like you shouldn't be homophobic, and like all these things, and like you have freedom of speech, but you shouldn't say the F word. Here's the thing. Right now, we're under a liberal new world order, but the pendulum always swings back.
Yeah.
So when the pendulum swings back, not only are you going to get your right to be a homo restricted, not only are we going to, not me necessarily, not only is society going to say, okay, we're going to go the Uganda route, which is that not only we're not going to allow you to get married, but we're also not going to allow you to be a free person to express your
This is how that happens.
And then hold on, and then we're not going to stop there. We're going to make it so that it's illegal for you to say anything about our religion or Jesus Christ. So they never think of how this actually sets the precedent for the other side.
I know.
It's really funny. It's really cool when you think you're gonna punish the homophobes, but you never think how this is gonna recoil and come back to you and set the precedent for the fascist.
Especially when the pendulum is swinging back aggressively.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Who talked about this?
What's that guy's
I think that guy, that Randy Kinsella guy. Yeah.
I mean, it's happening in Uganda. In Uganda, it is you can actually get the death penalty and go to jail or go to jail if you are openly homosexual. There's no homosexuality is banned in Uganda. I'm not talking about.
It's banned in a lot of places.
Marriage. I'm not talking about marriage. I'm talking about you being going out there.
If you are known homosexual, they will put you in jail.
Exactly.
Yes.
So and that actually, when you hear them again, I have to give credit to TikTok because I only learned about that through TikTok, watching the president live and speaking in Uganda, and he says that, you know why? Because of Barack Obama. Because Barack Obama, when he was coming to help our poor countries, he wasn't just helping with aid; he was forcing homosexuality on our culture. And we're Americans, so we think it like we're all cool with gay people. We all have gay family. We're all friends. We're not disgusted by these people or care. We're also 100 years ahead of them. You understand? They're not. They're 100 years back.
Yeah. Well, it's not even 100 years back. It's just they're at a place where the pendulum is, because this over the course of history, homosexuality has become prevalent and accepted and then villainized over and over and over and over again. So it's never actually stayed. And, I think you're making a great point. This is a point I've made on the show many, many times over the years that, like if we really think about how the leftists have treated regular people for the last decade in this country, it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, dude, I've gotten called every fucking name. I've gotten harassed. I've gotten canceled. I've gotten told I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a this, I'm a that for 10 years. And eventually people get tired of it. And they're like, you know what? Fuck you.
Yep.
Okay. And that's what's happening right now.
Yep.
And people
that's what's gonna happen.
yeah. And dude, and people aren't going to have any sympathy for those people.
No.
They're not going to protect them. They're not, when these fucking people come in and start fucking up people who have done this shit, the far leftist progressives, these people who are ruining our fucking society, no one's going to be there to stand behind them.
Single person.
Yeah.
No pool noodles.
People are going to be like the emoji.
Yep. Real quick to your point, I did some quick numbers over here. Roughly about 3% of Americans have traveled outside of the country.
Yeah.
Wow. 3%. That's why they, when they want to be racist towards me, whether right or left, they're always like, they just literally know Mexico. And I'm like, Latin America's a big ass continent. There's other countries out there. I don't know. Just saying.
dude, people.
Not every brown person is a Mexican. You know what I mean?
No shit.
So
True.
there's a lot more
Real
countries.
shit, man. Well, guys, it's time for our final segment of the show. As always, guys, we got thumbs up. We're dumb as fuck. This is where we bring a headline up and go through it, dig through it, and we get one of those two options. So with that being said, our thumbs up or dumb as fuck headline reads, Georgia man arrested after allegedly stealing porch from neighbor's property. We got to go down to Georgia, man. We got Listen, typically Florida's got some weird shit going on.
Yeah. This sounds like a Florida headline.
Yeah, this is out of Georgia.
Close enough. Close enough.
It's too hot in Florida right now. They went up
Yeah,
to Georgia.
they're like, yeah, this is probably a Florida man that was
sure.
caught in Georgia.
How do you steal a whole porch?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
A question. Yeah.
So there's a Fox News article, guys, reading a Georgia man is charged with a felony after he being accused of stealing a porch from a neighbor's front yard, according to the Coweta County Sheriff's Office. Robin Swanger. Yeah, Swanger. Yeah, I always got to check with Andy. I make sure they're right names.
I think it's good.
Yeah, Swanger.
It looks like a swanger to me.
That damn Swanger done stole my porch.
I'm not a grower. I'm a swanger.
Yeah, so Robin Swanger was arrested following the incident on Clement Harris Road in Arnco, Georgia. This is Robin here.
Oh.
This motherfucker
man.
Definitely
steals porches.
This motherfucker, I saw this motherfucker. What was that, Tiger King? I saw him on the show. This dude came right off Tiger King.
He's got a mullet. That's all you need to know.
Bro, this motherfucker definitely stole a porch.
I'm gonna have to give this a thumbs up.
Yeah, so the owner of the property that Swanger allegedly took the porch from said nothing was available to be taken despite the lot appearing to be abandoned. Investigators said that Swanger passed, quote, no trespassing signs in the yard on his way to remove the wooden porch, which was left on the property when the house was taken away. So basically there was no house, just the porch sitting there. Maybe that was already stolen too. I don't know.
Oh, so this is like mobile homes.
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This makes more
a little
sense.
bit more
Stole a
sense.
fucking porch, man.
I was
Yeah.
like,
So
It's a big porch though.
Oh, you got pictures?
Yeah, I got a picture. Yeah, it's a full size 8x10 porch. It would be what goes onto a house for entrance and exit. CCSO investigator
Typically
Chris Stapler.
where you would find a porch.
I mean, what else do you use a porch for?
you know.
And it, quote unquote, it was very well constructed. So that's always
good. It could be stolen.
Where did he do with it though? Like,
I don't understand.
yeah, investigators have described Swanger as a literal porch pirate for the theft, a term typically used for people accused of stealing packages from the doorstep of the home. Quote, some people may shrug their shoulders and say it's not a big deal, but when you take someone's property without their consent and the value of this porch is $3,000, you can't just go and take stuff off someone's property, Stapler said.
Well, I believe it's that much. Price of lumber's pretty high.
Well, it's pretty expensive right now, man. At one point during the investigation into the incident, deputies said the porch did reappear on the property upside down. Bro, how strong is this motherfucker?
You have the pictures of the porch?
Well, I mean, this is the best I can pull up. Yeah, this is the best I can pull up.
That's a pretty nice porch.
Bro.
And it's a pretty big porch, so I'm trying to
Did
understand.
he steal the lower porch or just the upper porch?
I don't know.
Because that's a double decker.
Yeah.
Bro, how the fuck did it go upside down? Like, how
It
strong
has to
is
be
this man?
the lower deck, I
Well,
think.
Yeah, it depends.
Right?
It depends on how much meth he smoked.
8x10.
This motherfucker smokes meth.
You want to buy a porch?
Listen. Okay. Does he do meth or not?
Oh, he does all of it.
Okay. We're in the fucking meth capital of America, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This man is guilty.
Guilty as charged, man. Yeah, so he got charged with 2 counts of domestic violence, including battery, in addition to the felony theft charge for stealing porch. What do we got on this, guys?
I'm going to have to give it a thumbs up because it's hilarious.
Thumbs up because it's funny.
Sometimes you need a porch.
Sometimes you need a porch.
Yeah.
Bro, he was going to sell that porch to get more meth.
Bro, that's Halloween outfit, bro. Porch pirate.
Porch pirate. Oh, man. That's great. Well, guys, Andy, Linda, that's all I got.
All right, guys, that's the show. Linda, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me
Yeah,
here.
thanks for making the trip up. It's always a pleasure. Guys, appreciate if you would not be a hoe.
Share the show.